Yo, what up, guys? How we doing? How we doing? Dude, Kendrick is so fucking good. I've not listened to Kendrick Lamar in eons, man, and whenever I do, I'm filled with the desire to kill, as he would hope. Yo, guys, how we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Thank you, my guy. I'm good for now. Couple hours. Contemplating calling an What? What? Why? Do not. Twitch is. This is not where you want to go for medical counsel. Do you need it? Do you need to go to the ER? Dude, fuck it. Like, Uber there if you have to. Like, I don't know if you live in the U.S. If you live in the U.S., you honestly might. I don't know if Uber can. Just don't tell them. Just be like, I need to get taken to the hospital. Isn't that like a total nightmare that we live in a reality where like someone experiencing an emergency to the point where they can't drive is like, rather than using the like medical services that we would in theory be like subsidizing communally, they're like, I'm gonna call this like fucking Indonesian immigrant to drive me there in whatever car he could afford because he's in no way, shape, or form being given any kind of aid in assimilating, and he's like actually a doctor, but they won't let him practice. And like what a fucking weird reality we existed at this point, man. You don't know I am not a cum doctor? That's true. I mean, are you sure you're not? You could be. Yo, what's up, man? I'm good. Never experienced such pain and shaking. That doesn't sound like you're good. That does not sound... I'm good. But a small creature just escaped out of both my mouth and my asshole. But I'm good. No. Let's figure out why there are creatures in your body. You know what I mean? I don't like that. I don't like it. I don't like that. No, get out. Go to the hospital. Do I have to time you out? What do you think the issue is, man? Where did it come from? Do you want to get on a call? Yeah, what up, Shaldo? Guys, how we doing today? I hope everyone's feeling solid. I hope everyone is feeling like absolute titans. Just true de facto beasts and beings and behemoths, you know? Is that Tectone's bottle? Yes. Yes, it is. Almost don't want to hold it. I could be food poisoning. I mean, are you just like throwing up and vomiting a lot? I mean, shit, man. In all likelihood, I mean, if you're like can't stop expelling liquids and you can't hold it down, do you have like anyone to hang out with? Call a friend. Guys. At the very least, look, in the United States, let's use the buddy system. All right. So we can delay the very immediate concerns we have for our own personal health together, you know, with the safety of a spotter. We're riding that fine line of, I might die, but it would be very expensive to not die. So if I'm not going to die, it'll be very expensive to ensure I'm not going to die. So rather than go check it out and put my concerns at ease, we get a spotter so we can ride the lightning. I can't think of a better system. Can you? Yo, awesome, wow. What up, dude? Long time. I hope you're well. Holy shit. Good to see you. When's the last time you were here, man? We had an OG in the house. Holy shit. Dude, since June. Wow. A lot's changed since that last stream, but welcome in. Also, that vitamin C was one of the last things you want to do when you're having digestion issues, but what do I know? I don't think that's really the case. I mean, like, I don't think digestion has, like, a dehydrative capacity of any kind. I actually think we'll probably be okay. At least crossing my fingers on that. Probably not. I've been neglecting everyone on Twitch. Good. Fuck them. We're all narcissists. You don't need any of us. None of this is good for you, you know? You escaped. Yo, what up, susty Mr. Squid? Welcome in, man. Yeah, guys, we are chilling today. We're going to go through some of these tenders. We only have a few of them, but this is what I've kind of come to realize, all right? We have to do things in order for people to expect things, you know? So we're going to do things regardless of input from now on because WakeWilder has to be an independent being. Yo, what up, Gran? Welcome in, baby. Thank you for the 6 months. That's insane. It's been 6. It was so far. Nice to see some old friends again, though. Of course it is, and it's nice to see you as well. Awesome, wow. I'm glad you're here. You're late to the party. No one's late. We just got there, guys. I tried meditating today for the first time. Let me tell you that I tried meditating, and it might have promise, because I woke up today and I was like, you know what felt really good? You know when like I felt awesome? I'll tell you, like the very apex, like the best I've ever felt. Anyone want to know? If anyone can guess, I'll tell you. I'll tell you if you're right. After eating shrooms? Actually, yeah, that's close. That's up there. I do... If I could eat more psychedelic substances, I probably would. But I'm also very neurotic, so they don't go well together. You didn't meditate before? I have meditated historically, but I have not meditated in like a year, 2 years. Been a while. I don't think I've meditated since like mid-COVID, dude. And I mean like 2020. Probably since like mid-2020. I meditated a lot 2018 to 2020. And then I fell the fuck off. I'll tell you what I did do. I've never been good at meditating. Well, to be fair, that's kind of the practice of meditating. Is like, meditation isn't, it's not like if you were good at meditating, you wouldn't need to meditate. Does that make sense? Like, the whole point of meditation is observing your thoughts and where it is they drift, you know? And, like, detaching from them. Seeing yourself as the observer rather than the producer. Which is kind of like... That's like the actual practice itself. Everything else is meh, whatever. You know what I mean? But, 20 minutes in, I got a Twitch notification. Wait, you're saying you just got the Twitch notification? That's bizarre, if so. That is weird, dude. This is the best I ever felt. It was on Prozac. And I was thinking, you know, it'd be nice? Prozac. And then I was thinking, no. You know what's better than that? Identifying what was most helpful about Prozac and what it is you're actually confronting. Because the interesting thing about the serotonin theory is that it isn't so much that serotonin itself produces good feeling. I mean, it does. Neurochemically, we're aware of that. But a lot of the actual antidepressant components of SSRIs come from the ways in which serotonin enhances neuroplasticity and allows for receptivity to new ideas and formation of new habits. So, what then can you change? Prozac Wellbutrin, a man of culture. I was doing that combo with Vyvanse. It was a trifecta, and actually, that was probably the best I'd ever felt, because it just absolutely eviscerated all of my obsessive-compulsive issues. However, we're going to approach them head-on instead. Yes, we're going to walk right into that good night. I had to go cold turkey off Prozac when I lost health insurance, never went back on because I'm scared of having to go off it again if things fall apart. I understand that. Actually, you know what? I found that was the easiest thing for me to come off it. Can I ask what made you stop that combo? I wanted to ejaculate again. Very plainly. It was like listening to a Skrillex song that wouldn't drop. You know? It's kind of like, this is crazy, I think. And then, like, after, like, the fourth go of, like, wow, this is crazy, but you were like, man, it's really not going to come. Then you kind of lose interest. So that was kind of the real thing. Like, it was coming to the point to where it's like, me not being able to ejaculate is almost creating, issues in and of itself, you know? And frankly, in a more realistic assessment, like, I had just gotten to a point through pharmaceutical intervention to where I had, like, really good habits and, relationships at the time. And then, a lot of the things I went on to change, like, new living situations, new work, things of that nature, it really did, like, augment that over time to the point to where now I'm like, probably be good to use. Because I realized that the only thing I really am at odds with, of all things, the thing that is most crushing is moreover the fact that I'm so fucking anxious. When you really unpack it, it's an anxiety quotient at the core of it. It's this perpetual overthinking. And so I thought, what's like a good second line of defense in the event that I don't want to reintroduce, pharmaceuticals? I'm going to meditate. I'm going to sit very still. And I'm going to think. Is it too late? No, you guys can submit whatever you want, man. Drifting with the tides, currents of life ebb and flow, journeys and unknown. Yep, for sure. My ex had trouble sexually when I'm Wellbutrin. See, that's odd because Wellbutrin's theoretically great for libido because it's blocking the reuptake of dopamine. So, you'd have higher concentrations of dopamine and in turn sexual responsiveness. That would actually be good. You guys can submit on the subreddit. I'd honestly prefer if we started using the subreddit more, as I think it's just a good hub for community, but we also need to use the Discord. So, go ahead and drop into the Discord. We have dating app profiles on the Discord. It's a channel, and under text. We only have, 3 submissions right now, but we are going to go through them. To, make something work. You know what's weird is Prozac actually made me hornier. I just couldn't ejaculate. I was way hornier on Prozac because I wasn't anxious at all. When I don't have any anxiety, I mean, honestly, with a lot of dudes, they tend to just be so fucking entrenched in sexual fantasy that they lose the capacity to really enjoy sex itself. A lot of dudes do just have like a blatant porn issues, man. It's not to say porn is an issue, but it's that it can become this maladaptive escape for people in the absence of sex, and they start to frame expectation around it early on. I think a lot of dudes have that problem, man. A lot. That being said, it's not really porn's fault. It has to do more so with I think a lack of education around safe use of things of that nature, which just doesn't exist at all. What do you think is the reason for anxiety and the fix for it? Oh, God, man. I mean, fuck. These are big picture questions. Likely, yeah. At no point did I really have a prevailing sense of self-confidence, something to that extent. And so for a long time, I was just very much second guessing what then I'd go on to do. In certain environments. Who knows, though? It's always been an issue for me since I was very, very young. I've had really extreme anxiety. Anxiety typically around performance, presentation, discussion, and then, directionality of my life, shit like that, man. I think a lot of us deal with that. But mine was, prominent to, crippling, it was, constant overthought. To the point to where things would never get done. You guys have seen it, man. You guys have been in my channel for a while. You guys know just how fucking lost in the sauce I get. Nothing but fruitless obsession half the time, man. Yo, what up, Monclay? Welcome in, dog. Too much calcium in the brain, reducing neuroplasticity. How do we decalcify our brain? Is it the fluoride in the water, Kirk? Is that it? Do we have a fluoride in the brain issue? It seems like it, man. Fuck. It's the fluoride, guys. Fuck. You couldn't believe me if you tried? Well, what's your fix? How do I decalcify my brain? I do want to know. Don't count me out, man. I gotta know this stuff. Don't run from it. Guide me, baby. Vitamin K. That'll decalcify the brain. Liver King said to decalcify up to 10 or balls. I mean, I'll do that. How do you submit tenders? You put that shit in Discord, man. ! Discord. Go to the dating app profiles tab and drop some screenshots. Done that for 7-8 years now. Fiber, really? It's a sleuth of reasons. Wait, what? So you're saying that fiber is how I decalcify the brain, or fiber is causing my brain calcification? That's the real curiosity. Which one do I do here? I still argue for wake hobbies. Hobbies would be good, but the big deal is, like, on a fundamental level, if you don't want to, like, if you overthink everything you do, starting a hobby is very difficult. But something to occupy the brain, definitely of value. Blood-brain barrier's wide open, boys, wide open. Yeah, I buy it. I buy it, sure. Fiber does seem to help people in almost every measurable capacity, so sure, why not? Some people believe that the pineal gland can become calcified and that this can lead to a range of health problems. However, there's little scientific evidence. No, that's literal scientific mishmash, man. Like it's used to manipulate individuals into thinking something's valid by, like, essentially, like, leveraging the concept of, like, it's a lot of what we do here, you know, use big words so people think you're right. But that's kind of, like, the premise behind it, is that, like, if I kind of, like, encrypt what I'm trying to communicate, or I guess, like, even just, like, obfuscate meaning altogether so that people don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but if I use the proper diction, people will assume it's correct, they then, like, leverage that to sell you a product, you know what I mean? Wait, really? Wait, you haven't gotten a Twitch notification? Russell's ruining his shit with keto? I mean, I don't have him on a ketogenic diet. Is he, like, changing his diet up for, like, just based on him? Like, what he wants? I mean, like, what? No, he's doing some fasting stuff, but no, I do not have him on ketogenic diet whatsoever. Does fiber help with brain cells? I mean, to what extent fiber would help with your brain cells doesn't really make sense to me. It would probably impact something that would then have, like, an effect on neurogenesis, like augmenting, you know, like, your microbiome and, like, the degree to which it produces something that could then go on to, like, catalyze neurochemical production or something like that. Like, there's so many layers to this, man. The best thing you can do is, look, man, you want a quick fix. You can get rid of all of your problems immediately with high doses of heroin. I mean, immediately. Every problem. You just now take on a new problem of heroin. That's the problem with drugs, man. They will take most of the problems away, but then reintroduce the problem of the drug forever, which is the tough one there. Vitamin B1, high megadose will help clear out the brain of free radicals. Is that niacin? Is that vitamin B1? Also, free radicals, man. Do you have any, like, scientific data supporting it? No, niacin's B3, but niacin flushes are fucking horrifying, man. Too many supplement ideas to eat healthy food? Yeah, ideally. Here's the thing I think is most prominent, is I think most of the people looking for ways to, like, min-max their mental health are doing so under a sort of, like, health obsession, like something OCD adjacent or a health anxiety, in that the less you try to do that, the better you're gonna feel. That doesn't mean not adhering to, like, base health concerns and trying to be as healthy or as stable as possible. It's just moreover that at the core of it all, what ends up happening is, like, we become so fundamentally obsessive about our health that it consumes any capacity to, like, reintegrate into the world and experience any potential benefit, right? Like, most of the issue is with the anxiety itself, you know what I mean? And I would not fuck with iodine. I would not fuck with iodine at all, man. You can give yourself Hashimoto's by supplementing iodine. You gotta be smart, man. You gotta be so smart with iodine. People can give themselves fucking Hashimoto's by just fucking inundating their thyroid with iodine. Do not recommend it. In order to decalcify your pineal gland, you need to insert a sphere of polished amethyst into your anus and serve as a counterpole that will redirect stagnant chakras away from the brain. Yeah, and actually, in order for it to really work, you have to take a video of that and upload it to Reddit to prove to the gods that your chakras are worth realigning, because there's no one thing that does it. I mean, you still have to appease the higher-ups, you know what I mean? Are such supplements subreddit as psychotic? People taking 500 times daily value of shit like that. Well, here's the thing, man, is that, like, it really does come from, like, it's like a psychosis. It's a health obsession, man. Like, I've been down that rabbit hole. It's like you're trying to, the problem is your obsession. It normally isn't anything to do with your actual health, you know? That's my take in almost every instance. I think most people are just fundamentally obsessed with what could be wrong, and so they take what could just be like a bad day by way of like your emotional terrain or a sense of loneliness and like kind of the malaise that can create. Depression is like incredibly it's so like am I thinking of anhedonia? Is that the word? Anhedonia, like just like an absence of good feeling. It's just like when nothing. Okay, yeah. So it's just like an absence of pleasure, right? But like you have to remember that like pleasure and dopamine are like kind of one and the same here. You're projecting a lot. I don't really think so. I spent a lot of time in these spaces. Observing individuals, and like the more obsessive they are about this like macronutrient microdose intake, typically like the worse they become, and the more obsessive they. It's like identifying a locus of control in food. And I'm not obsessive. Okay. I think that a lot of people try to use it as this de facto locus of control in their lives, and I do think that there's something to be said for it, but a lot of it's just marketing. I don't know, man. It's a really common issue. I'm not saying that that's your fault or something that you deal with. This is why I can't help people. Well, Kirk, if you can provide me any semblance, and this is actually really important, any semblance of published research data suggesting anything that you are presently saying is not only valid, but like, you know, can be furthermore improved by the things that you're presenting, then it would work. As if you read your Discord. I mean, you can drop them here. We'll go through it. I'm in. I've been slowly putting more and more poop into my diet. Well, yeah, again, that's how we do that. So if I ever needed to eat my own shit to survive, I'll be able to survive off my own poop. Yeah, it just continues to circulate. Same with pee. You'll never run out. It's perfect. You are self-sufficient. Big Food wants to tell you that you can't eat your own poop. You know, that's Big Food. Don't get me started on Big Water. You think that you can't just eat your own waste and recycle it over and over and over again and be fine? Now that's the fake news, man. Big Food's trying to get under your skin. And they've already got you in their fucking, in their talons. I'm gonna go have for real, no cap. Goddamn right. Yo, wait, wait, we got a birthday in the house? Yo, what up, Burrows? Happy birthday, big dog. I don't trust research on diet. America recommended you get most of your calories from bread and cereal for like 50 years. I mean, you can look at data and like understand why that may or may not be valid, right? Like, yeah, of course. It's not to say that it's this kind of like infallible, like valid data set. However, you also should maybe be wary of people who are avoiding the process of creating and executing studies and instead just saying this stuff really works, buy it. That's called snake oil. And so we kind of distinguish that via studies. That's how we can stand beside purported benefits. They are important. You can't just, like, toss that shit to the wind, man. But I do agree with you. Do you know of AIP? I don't know what AIP is, actually. I've never heard of it. Let me look it up. AIP. The American Institute of Psychics or Autoimmune Protocol? Probably Autoimmune Protocol. Diet plan can be similar to paleo diets, but it's usually more strict. Yeah, paleo diets are nonsense. Involves eliminating certain foods that may cause inflammation, reintroducing them gradually once symptoms improve. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of stuff like this. Elimination diets, etc. Lupus, IBD type 1. If this is something that has, like any kind of like medical validity or doctors recommend it, then I'd say probably leave it to that. I don't think that people should just be like tossing elimination diets at themselves. I think it can lead to disordered eating. But like, I don't know, man. I'm a bigger fan of like eliminating foods one by one and seeing if you experience any improvement rather than eliminating all of the foods, because you can essentially like incinerate the microbiome responsible for breaking down and utilizing those food groups and making it such that the reintroduction, regardless of whether or not it was the problem, becomes problematic. You know what I mean? Which I think is tough. Why can't life go back to modern days, the modern days, where man love women and have a family, go to church on Sundays, summer BBQ, fireworks with the kids on 4th of July, home to a cooking wife? Now it's gay this, gay that. Why the fuck would a man want to become a woman? It's Satan is what it is. It's not, man. I mean, like, so what you have there is like this really compulsory paradigm that we're looking at with like rose-tinted goggles. So we think that like everyone was doing that because that was like their will and what they enjoyed most. But that's kind of the reality of like people like fight for freedom without knowing what to do with it thereafter. So like, as we continue to kind of like open the floor to what it is acceptable to us on a collective on a collective level, you know, like we're met with, I think, in many ways this like fear of total freedom, you know. I think Sartre would call this anguish of like, I am responsible for my life and it is me alone, you know. So I don't know, when you say stuff like that, man, I think what you realize is that you had a lot of people who lacked freedom on the basis of extreme sociological and cultural pressures. And now that we have freedom, it's really upsetting to certain people who don't want to have to introspect and perhaps reckon with the fact that they are living in a way that's inauthentic to who they are, but they're doing it because it's convenient or because it provides them a sense of identity in the absence of the very necessary and arduous introspection that makes you like actually happy, you know? So I'd say, you don't have to be gay. There's like very few gay people, frankly, compared to how many people. But sexuality is more a spectrum. And as we become more accepting of that, we realize that our tastes are also a choice rather than something that we're just like determined to have, you know? Like, there are individuals that you might find attractive that you didn't expect to find attractive, and I think that that's upsetting to people, you know? But it was never that simple. There was a ton of domestic violence and just malcontent littering the past, and we created compulsory hierarchy that made it such that, like, women kind of had to, like, fuck men they didn't care that much about to survive. You know what I mean? Not really the case then. Homosexuality has never not been a thing. We just have told people that they have the freedom to be who it is they are, and those who are, you know, more resolute in their identity are coming forward with it, you know? The more we accept it, the more people are willing to explore and that within themselves. But that can be scary to a lot of people who, like, fear those, the reality of freedom, you know, and are looking for ways to essentially absolve themselves of the burden of choice, you know, of like, I now get to determine who I am and how I live. And that shit's fucking bizarre to people, you know? It's why people are so prone to like nationalism and like blind tribalist collective like impulses, you know? Like, we do need community, but like so much of us are just waiting to be told what to do because it's preferable to the freedom of choice, you know, of really having to introspect and determine where it is you derive value. And eventually, you know, and this is like some Eric Fromm stuff from like, so Eric Fromm, philosopher, wrote some interesting stuff on the concept of freedom, and it ties into like some of Sartre's concepts of freedom as well, and like why it is freedom is in so many ways this like almost like disease we're trying to eradicate, you know? Not because it's like it's something we both like covet and fear, you know? Like, we want the capacity to choose what we are or what it is we then go on to do. But the reality of like introspecting and laboring and trialing these concepts of self involves a lot of like self-confronting and you know, fear of dejection. I mean, there's so much to it, man. Men have been bumming each other for as long as we've been around. Oh yeah, no, I mean, that's not even it, man. Like people like to feel good, and certain people are, you know, erotically like you know, enticing, I guess, to other people. There's just like, I don't understand why it's so confounding to people, man. I just don't get it. Like, it's totally fine to me. Like, why is this something that you take active concern over? You know? Ancient Greek armies were encouraged to have gay sex to boost morale. Well, I know what's funny, though, is, like, I like that the ancient Greeks and a lot of, like, other ancient civilizations were, like, essentially, like, yo, nothing's gay about fucking a butt, but you'll never catch me getting my butt fucked. I'm not gay. Like, they broke everything down to, like, essentially, like, the mechanics of sex and what it suggested, you know? They were like, yeah, so what? A hole's a hole, and any hole's a goal, all right? You're not gonna catch me getting my hole used. Like, that was the word. It was like, I think I'm some bottom. Like, that was so fucking odd. Well, yeah, of course, there are a ton of ancient Greek cultures, you know, a ton. It's not arguably less gay. What are you talking about? You want to fuck a dude? That is the definition of gay. What do you think gay is? Do you want to argue that that's more, let's say, like, mechanically effeminate to receive? There could be an argument to that in, like, a procreative level, you know? That doesn't mean that it's more gay to be. Otherwise, like, women are super gay, right? Wouldn't that be the logic? Like, women are gay as fuck, man. Like, straight women taking dick, that's super gay of them. If it's gay to receive, that's not what we're looking for there. What is the least popular orifice? I mean, probably the ear. I think it's the least convenient one to get into, you know what I mean? In ancient Rome, the gayest possible thing was to perform cunnilingus. Hey, you know what? In most frat houses, the gayest thing to do is also perform cunnilingus. In most 21st century male social circles of 16 to 20-year-old men, that is also the gayest thing you can do. It's so odd that they think that, like, controlling someone's pleasure is submissive. Like, you can eat pussy in a way that's submissive, but that would involve, like, laying, like a flat and just being something to rub against, you know? You taking control over someone's, like, trajectory to orgasm and, like, teasing them and building it up and taking it down, like, that's not submissive. People are so odd. They're like, I'm not gonna put my mouth on that. Why? It's cool. It's just such a weird line to draw. Bro, is the label that pays me? Unfadable, so please don't try to fake me. Austin Cho has this argument every time he goes on Hassan stream. Wait, what's the argument that Austin has? See, another man might overpower you, but that's just manly guys doing manly things. I know. Imagine that. Yeah, that's you just respecting power, you know? Like a good Spartan, you know? Like, yeah, a powerful man, he beat me in battle. Oh, no, I hope he doesn't have his way with my butt, you know? It's not even, that's why I never joined BJ's, not even in thought. I really hate having control over anything. Yeah, it could be. I mean, like, I don't like receiving head that much. Like, it's like, it feels very idle and like dull. It's not that it's not like good, I just like want to be more active sometimes, you know? Like, that feels more submissive mechanically. I almost took the 18 plus tag off my stream today. I'm glad I didn't. Yeah. Fucking A. Unenthusiastic head kind of sucks. I mean, it's just whatever anyway. I'd rather have sex. It's fine. I'd just rather have sex. Are the UFOs aliens or what? Probably not. I think they're just like running any kind of like, we shot down a plane, or we shot down something in the sky to distract from the fact that we've had like 3 major like train-related chemical spills in the last week. There's like one in Houston, one in South Carolina, and one in Ohio, and they're like, aliens might be real, by the way. Don't focus on the inefficiencies of our systems. Holy shit, do you see that up there? Yeah, just fucking clean that shit up. Get the fucking trains out. Get them out of there. It's so dumb, right? Microbes are driving the UFOs. Now that's... I bet that it's all the calcium. Trainwrecks TV, am I right? You were going to take the 18 plus off when you tell chat their dick's sufficient every night. Well, it was meant to be a commitment to other content. To moving away from shooting the shit with chat nonstop. It was gonna be my it was my act of triumph over my own laziness, you know? I was gonna overcome, but then I didn't. And the Atlanta Cop City, which is funded in part by the rail company that spilled chemicals in East Palestine. Well, yeah, I mean, we gotta keep the people chemically altered and docile. What was your plan for the night? Oh, never have a plan, dude. I'm gonna go over the tenders that have been submitted, whichever ones we have accessible to us, and we're gonna chill. I am a big old dingus doofus content creator. One day I'll be good at it, but right now I spent the whole day watching funny people be funny this morning because I wanted the inspiration. Rating tenders went? Fuck it, let's do it now, dude. Let's move it in. Let's do this shit. We're 50 minutes into stream. Let's get into your tenders. Let's take you guys down. Guy tenders? Yes, guy tenders. Why would I? What do you mean? That's a prime, baby. Thank you, sweet Kyle. Mwah. Welcome in, baby. Welcome in. All right, let's see what we have here. What do we have here? All right. Open in browser. Okay. And then we have a whole bunch to open in browser. 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 Holy shit, this dude fucking sent it. Open in browser. Okay. Oh, we got Hraf? Let's go. Open in browser. Open in browser. And then we've got new submissions. Open in browser. I mean, we'll do anyone's tenders. They're all fine with me. Open in browser. Okay. Oh, nice. We got a Bumble representation in the house. First, a Bumble profile. Big shit. Okay. Open in browser. Okay, cool. Give me one sec, guys. We're gonna run to the restroom, and then we're gonna come back and do this shit.
Thank you so much, best friend.
WakeWilder.
Yo, what up? Life's a meme. Thank you so much for the fucking subscriptions, guys. They mean a lot. As always, man, your subs go a very long way in this channel because we are, you know, not fucking 40k Andes. You know, we need those primes. And I can promise you 2 emotes that you might use sometimes, okay? But also a whole lot of love, Chad. I mean, just a lot of care. All right, let's see. So what do we have up first? We have Notters. Not RS. Oh, not RS3. Let's go. What a main you got there. 1. Nice. Like a kind of, you know, very, like, wistful gaze, you know? You can tell you're, if not contemplative, very content. Full-time student, so he's an academic. Let's go. Photo is verified, so he's locked in. All right, so let's see. Looking to get out, have fun, and experience what life has to offer. Care to join? I'm a veteran back in school for the education I've always wanted. Nice. Nerd stuff is big for me. Gaming, sci-fi, anime, traveling's also big. Love to immerse myself in different scenery, culture, and food. 6'5". We got a Titan in the house. All right. Sometimes he works out. He is in college. Socially, he will drink. He does not smoke. He is man. He will smoke weed socially as well. He's looking for something casual. Wants someday. Scorpio. Moderate. Agnostic. All right. So, first things first. Actually, let's give a full review here. So we have kind of like a full tapestry. So we have this is a great photo. One, lush scenery, shows that you're out in the world. You look good in it. This one's funny. Hold on. You're into sci-fi flicks, learning languages, and comics. All right, sick. We have here, I'm hoping you like French toast. So when I inevitably mix too much batter and use up all the bread, we can both enjoy. So he's a cook. Actually, yeah, this is solid so far. So here's the real thing. Legos. Still am, but I was too. So as someone who's had a lot of different kinds of hair over the course of my life, this is the one thing I'm going to tell you. You have to be mindful of providing two different looks. Reason being, when you have both long hair and short hair, you're going to hit different markets. Some people aren't going to be too into this look or more into the other, so on and so forth. And so you might have people who are just like, I don't want to run that risk. What does this dude look like? I'm swiping left. So I think being consistent with your photos, unless it's like a really cool scenic photo. So let's say you have like short hair now, and the long hair is from a bygone era. That works to me. But I think having a consistency of a look is actually a benefit in this capacity. So I like this photo. This is fun. I don't like this photo. Reason being, as a child was into Legos, still am, but I was too. Really funny. The reason why I don't like this photo is that, one, you do look very hot, but it looks very self-indulgent. I think that any photo that is strictly about you looking a certain way is not what I'd go with. If you're like, I'm hot here, you're hot in every other context. You don't need to isolate your hotness. It looks like that's an important, like a point of pride. You know what I mean? You look hot as is. So it's a great look. Also, this is not a cringe joke. It's funny. And people will like it. So absolutely solid. That's my take. But one, you look hot. So big ups. Do you have the long hair or the short hair now? This is actually an important caveat for further criticism. Did you already respond, or are you just now seeing this? Do you just not have a lot of long hair photos? Because to me, you have such different looks, it's hard for people to interpret what you look like. I got that complaint before when I was like growing my hair out, but I didn't have photos of me with long hair. People didn't know what it is they wanted. They didn't know what it was I looked like. So that was something that you might want to consider, is getting more photos with long hair. But I like this one because it's fun. You're eating blizzards. I don't know. It's not like this photo isn't going to be a selling point. Your real selling point photo. Are you leading with this one? I wouldn't lead with that one. I'd lead with this one. The reason being that you want to contextualize yourself in the things that are important to you, rather than, let's say, like just be like, I look really good. That's my take. If you can find a way to blend the two, that works. But you look really good here, and it contextualizes you in a cool environment. You want to try to like physically materialize your interests, because you have very little to do. Do not include. I was actually going to say never. To me, I do a few things. I will never include my zodiac. I do include my political affiliation because it's kind of like a big no-no to me. Like, I'm not going to date like hyper-conservative people. We likely just don't have a lot of values aligned. But typically, these things are just going to stop you from getting matches, and matches are kind of tough to get to begin with. It's a good thing to lead with, but honestly, I kind of think it's better to put yourself in positions of actually procuring dates in seeing whether or not you guys have compatibility in person, because a lot of people's values are just like what it is they were raised within or what it is they came to college with. And people change over time. So just finding ways to like have good dates helps, in my opinion. And I wouldn't put like a ton of like Scorpio, like immoderate, agnostic, whatever. That might feel kind of Machiavellian, but I just think ultimately it's about like meeting people and seeing how well you guys connect. You're on to conservative women? I typically wouldn't go on a date. But everything else works. Something casual, you're probably gonna get people who likely think you're just looking to fuck. That being said, if you are just looking to fuck, it's not the worst thing to put forward so people know. It's not the worst thing. But that's kind of something to like determine thereafter, I guess. Not sure. Bio doesn't matter. You just have to look good. No one's reading that shit. That's actually really not true. So I've like, been pretty lucky to have like a lot of like cool like female friends in my life, and I've like watched them swipe on Tinder, watched them swipe on Bumble, watched them navigate dating apps. They totally read bios. It's very significant to the majority of women. If you're very attractive, you might get swipes without the bio being considered. But for the majority of people, the bio is really significant and does have a massive sway over whether or not you get selected in that regard. But here's another like really prevailing tidbit for you all. Dating apps are not stacked in your favor. And the likelihood of you pretty much never being seen by a legitimate account is actually quite high. So don't allow your lack of success on dating apps to determine your sense of value in actual like dating environments. There are a lot of people who will have active interest in you romantically, especially should they have the opportunity to actually meet and engage with you. This is a very reductive way of presenting the self, so do know that, all right? So looking to get out and have fun. Bio's fine. I think that you do a good job of actually summarizing everything you are. However, you say something casual down here, but everything here is kind of like big picture romantic stuff. If you don't want that, I'd lead with like a dumb joke. You know what I mean? If you don't, because this right here, yeah, there's compatibility stuff, like the nerd stuff's all good. It's good that you're forthright about your interests, is not having people who are like okay with or interested in indulging your interests can be a massive drag romantically. I find matches and likes more authentic on Bumble. Very little social farming goes on like Tinder. Yeah, I mean, Tinder I think is a total lost cause. I think it's a massive bot farm for all intents and purposes. Yeah, man. I mean, one hot dude. Tall glass of water. You like to cook? Like to cook French toast specifically? It's fun. As far as these like things are concerned, you can go one of two ways, right? Like, you can cast a broad net to see who it is you really connect with. Or you can go with a really niche net that you throw out there that you're trying to essentially like narrowcast like your type exactly. If your goal is to go on dates, just the more generically goofy you can get, the better. Am I swiping right? Yeah, I'm swiping right on this guy. However, there's just not a lot of personality bleeding through. That's what I'd say, up until you get to Legos. Still am, but I was too. This is fun, and it's like it's self-aware. You're kind of poking at yourself a bit. I think that's great. Being like tastefully self-deprecating, laughing about your eccentricities, these things are good. Horrible advice? Yes. Horrible advice. You know what you should tell him? Tell him how big your dick is and how much money you make. But the photos are great. You're a good-looking dude. I think that bios tend to be best as like quick hitters personally. Like a couple sentences that are funny and like encapsulate something you care about, That's kind of my belief, at least. That being said, if that's just not who it is you are, I don't think that it's a bad thing to be more descriptive. But you got to remember that, like, you're making an elevator pitch, and it's really hard to distinguish yourself from other profiles, What if you're not funny? I'm not very funny, However, even just making something that's, like, self-referential or, like, like memeing about like I don't know, man, like something that you clearly like have a lot of in here, you know? Always hide what you make. Don't want gold diggers. Yeah, of course I'm memeing. I'm fucking memeing. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think of where else I want to go. I like that you have yourself here at a con, because that's gonna like actually like really nail it for people who are into that as well, and there are a ton of people that are into it. So you don't have to do away with this, but yeah, consistent photos aesthetically are important. You're Not Funny made me giggle mildly last month. Done in one. I'm glad I could give that to you. Yeah, let's see. What would I want to do for like a fucking bio here? Hmm. A lot of caveats here for me. Ultimately, it's good, but you can always imbue a bit more personality or like try to find something that's more of a snap, you know? Yeah, what are you studying in school? What are some things about you that aren't coming through in this? We had Jodeci in here. Funny is kind of complex in the context of romance. People will fall in love with the most random things about you. Yeah, in person. I think it's good to present a sort of like you know, relaxed, like kind of like self-confronting and joking aura here, because this is a really like online dating is so forced and stifled and weird. Computer science and programming. Okay, how can we meme that? Me too. From you. All right, so what can we do here? I am studying computer science, so I know how to program you into the kind of woman you should be. That'll hit. Let's see. What would I do here? How could we meme computer science? Okay. So, trying to insert my floppy disk. Yeah, you know, that's a strong opener. Strong opener. Huh. Yo, what up, Zoe? Looking to get out, have fun, and experience what life has to offer. Care to join? I'm a veteran in school for the education I always wanted. Baby, I'm begging, begging, baby. Begging, I'm begging, baby. I'm begging, begging, baby. Turn my software into hardware. God fucking damn it. Fuck, marry, kill, Gandalf, Frodo, Gollum. It's actually not as hard as you'd think, man. You marry Gandalf, you fuck Frodo, you kill Gollum. I didn't even have to think about that. Gandalf the Grey's got infinite wisdom, magical powers. I mean, like that's a good life. Frodo, you know, he's just kind of like a I don't know, he's a hobbit, so it's kind of weird to want to fuck a hobbit. But you know, got a kind face. And you know, Gollum's a fucking nightmare, so get rid of him pretty quickly. Give women some idea of the kind of date you plan to take them on. Yeah, it can be fun. I mean, like, It really all depends, dude. Like, so are you looking for something casual? Because if you are, I would just fucking go for jokes. I would just try to meme the fuck out of your entire profile and have fun with it because, frankly, if you're listing that you want something casual, like you're just kind of looking to hook up, you're putting forth a profile that people are going to consider if they're looking for, like, long-term matches. Like this is more about, like, total compatibility and less about, like, some goofy thing you want to do. You know what I mean? So it's tough, man. You could even say, like, Let's see. That one's tough for me. I put something casual because I was in a nightmare relationship and joined the military initially to get away from it all. Fresh start. Whoa. You joined the military to escape your relationship? You were like, I am okay with it. I will... That is like expert level avoidance. That is the degree of commitment there. That's the ultimate ruse. I'm going to dutifully serve in the U.S. military, so I have a reason to not call her. Dude, I've been in an abusive relationship myself. I absolutely understand. I escaped my abusive relationship by donating everything I owned and leaving the country overnight. So, I feel ya. Did it all in like a 3-day span. So, yes. But yeah, I wouldn't go into your ex either, for sure. Let's see. I'm fighting ISIS tonight. Yeah, something casual. Honestly, I would just not include what you're looking for at this point so you can figure it out yourself as you go. You know what I mean? That'd be my goal. I would just take off something casual so people can interpret it any way they want it. Otherwise, like, you're a good-looking dude. Photos are solid. I would try to make a more consistent aesthetic throughout it. This thing's really funny. I was really into Legos, still am, but I was too. I think that's fun. I would find a way to incorporate that more into, like, you know, find, like, fun, like, dumb things about your childhood, you know, that you can put out there that shows that I think in some ways you're, like, more like, you know, conscientious of who you are and what you've been through. I think that stuff helps. Just, like, dumb, goofy things. I think it's always a fun thing as far as the prompts are concerned. I wouldn't worry too much about, like, putting forth all your interests. Like, don't think of dating apps or profiles as, like, a stat sheet. It's really not. Like, it should be more of, like, something that evokes the kind of tone that you carry into, you know, interaction, you know? So, if you're, like, very sincere and, like, focused on the facts, then it's a good thing to lead with, you know? Because you're going to connect with individuals who like that as well. So you got to kind of think, like, who am I in my engagements? Less, like, what do I think I need to put forward to be most, you know, like, let's say, like, statistically desirable. Does that make sense? If your GF nags you all the time, is that considered abusive? Can you press charges? No. But yeah, sci-fi flicks, learning languages. Rather than say what you're a real nerd about, be like, I would like to know, something like that. Something I'd like to know about you is, like, something involving a sci-fi flick, you know? Like, try to, like, narrowcast it in a way that's more specific to, like, what movie or, like, franchise you're really into that you want to, like, play on. You know what I mean? I think that'd be more fun. But yeah, man. I think this is solid. I think you kind of got everything you need within it. I would say make consistent all of the photos, and take some stats away from this. I'm a real nerd about. Fuck all that. Like, find another way to communicate you're into sci-fi flicks that asks, essentially, them something goofy, you know? I would always try to connect with people rather than just, like, present this as, like, this is who I am. Do you like it? Find, like, something that you're into that you can expand upon. But that's my go. I think that you kind of want some intrigue here, you know? So, like, when you're hyper descriptive, actually, Kirk's not wrong. when he's saying, like, you know, more mysterious, less open book, I just don't think that dating apps are that effective at communicating an identity to begin with. And I think that finding a way to, like, rather than detail who it is you are, suggest how it is you are, you know? Like, more something that, like, carries with it the tone that you'd carry into other discourse, you know? Be more transparent about, like, niche things you're into rather than, like, speaking in generalities, you know? Because it's how you present these things that's interesting to people. Because even if you don't have the same interest as someone, if you seem passionate about it, people are more likely to go for it, right? So, like, when you say, like, I'm a real nerd about sci-fi flicks, learning language, nothing about this tells me you're a nerd about any of it. You just listed shit. Like, go in, be like, I'm a real nerd about, and be like fucking, you know, Darth Maul did nothing wrong or something like that, you know? And, like, go like, fucking go on weird tangents. You're gonna have more fun. People are gonna be more attracted to the passion you illustrate through these things than the actual context. You know what I mean? Like demonstrate your passion for something, you know? I always think that that's gonna pull more interest regardless of what the actual point of consideration is, you know? I'll be more interested in someone who, like, talks about, like, you know, the atrocities of Sylvanas than saying that they like Blizzard IP or something, you know? Like, you'll not only hit that more, but even if someone was, like, really niche about specific lore I didn't know about or something, I'd still be interested in, like, oh, this person really does care. That's fun. Talk about Darth Jar Jar in your Bumble profile actually would be really funny. Like, Sith Jar Jar, that will hit a niche, and those who don't care, you know, you're probably not going to want to be with them to begin with, but those who would even just be interested in, like, the absurdity of what you're saying and the passion with which you're communicating, it'll be more interested, you know? But I think this is, like, a good base profile. Are you having success with the profile? That's a good first question, by the way. Because if you're having success with it, man, you don't really have to do too much. However, you are a good-looking dude, tall glass of water. You communicate things very black and white, though, and that could just be kind of who you are, but I'd rather find some niche things you're really passionate about in here, because I think that you're probably going to get scrolled to at least a few of these things. So rather than saying you're a real nerd about 3 things that are generic, pick something to actually demonstrate nerdiness about. That's what I'd really recommend, man. Like, really try to illustrate what you're into rather than just, like, entertaining generalities. It's more fun to demonstrate passion. I think passion's a very attractive attribute, but that could just be me speaking for myself. But yeah, as far as these things here, I tend to go as I almost won't include anything. Only because it's a needless barrier, in my opinion. Like, I wouldn't even illustrate whether or not you're into something casual. I just wouldn't answer these questions. It'll give you the opportunity to actually meet and communicate and connect with more people, which I think is actually of value. All right, on to the next one. Not RS, thank you so much, man, but I will 150% suggest that you communicate your passions in a way that shows the passion itself more than just being like, I'm passionate about this. Talk about something passionately. We'll always hit. Okay, Colin in the house. Oh, this dude's fucking so much. Dude, you are gaslighting more 24-year-old women right now than any other man in the Pacific Northwest. Dude, every time I tune in, you're talking faster than an auctioneer on Adderall and rambling on about the most random shit, just no chill ever. Reminds me of a streamer chick who cuts go off like, thanks. Yeah. Except I don't get any, I'm not getting subs or donos. I'm just rambling manically about what I'm thinking about. Welcome to the stream, Ashley. That is, alas, such is life. But yeah, we talk a lot. It rambles. Would you prefer I be more chill? We can do it. Yeah, this guy definitely fucks. Very cool. This is a very cool photo. It's honestly a perfect lead. Because it demonstrates a passion that is generally considered attractive. And you're a good-looking dude, nice mustache, curtain parts crushing, solid. My Cry in the Car song is, God, I would love to hear that. It's fucking Down with the Sickness by Disturbed. No, mommy, don't do it again. Don't do it again. I'll be a good boy. Oh. That's what I like to imagine. She fucking baits him into Crazy Frog. All right, don't hate me if I am doing this for the bit. That's really funny. See, that's a do it for the bit. That's a fun little quick hitter. It shows that like this is kind of, I like that. It's not actually meant to like communicate anything, all that. So this is kind of exactly what I'm talking about, where like it's more illustrative of like how you are than who you are. You know, like you're lighthearted, you're gonna make jokes, you're gonna goof off. That's a really good way of communicating how you interact and what it is they would experience, rather than like a list of details about yourself. You know, hey, an honest king. He could have bumped that up, but he didn't. 29, Capitol Hill. Executive account manager. I don't know what that means. I mean, that sounds important. You got executive in your title? Go for it. You're into a long-term relationship, open to short. See, this is that's probably the ideal way to set it up. Oh wait, 511. Okay, we have work to do. Yeah, we're gonna have to start lying. All right. So yeah, political affiliations, other. What does that mean, Colin? What does that mean? Damn it. Yeah, photos are good so far. Good responses. Simple pleasures. Pedicures for my daughter. Good way of weaving that in. If you do have a daughter, people are going to want to know, obviously, so it's a good way of getting that out. Yeah, it's a fun little thing. Sure. Good. Anyone who says they're 5'11" is under that height, I don't know if that's true. I don't know why that's become so, like, universally incorporated, you know? I think you should include what area you live in. I mean, they do. He had it there. Any song you bob your head to, entering raffles, losing the raffle again. See, this is funny. You see what I'm saying, guys? This is actually great. So it's illustrating a degree of passion rather than like listing like, you know, like it's time with family. You're specific. Pedicures from my daughter. That's exactly how it is you'd want to illustrate the kind, like the passion you have for it. You know, it's specificity that kind of brings a person to life. Really big win. Any song you can bob your head to, rather than being like music, you know? Simple pleasures, music. That sucks. Any song you can bob your head to, better. There's specificity. There's character. You seem like a human, you know? And a lot of times these are just people who are being like, am I going to be bored, you know? Is this person... What you really need to sell people on is this person worth chatting with. Because it's normally not even just the date. It's like, will I, if I swipe on this person, have a funny back and forth? You know? That's what you're looking for. Entering raffles, losing the raffle again. Funny. Niche, that's good. Going home, play games. That's really funny. Simple pleasures, going home, agreed. This guy's doing great. Great. There's a ton of personality. It's very quippy. I'm assuming this person's not in chat, or they might have said something, or they're just trying to be, anonymous. But, caught in the act. He smokes. The fucking rat. He's out. Let me introduce you to my alter ego. What the fuck is it? Is it just like a CRT? Or CR whatever it is? What is... Is that your computer? What the fuck are you... What am I looking at, dog? Planned it or candid. You having fun with a friend. Also very fun. Yeah, this is so well... This is really well put together, dude. I think this is an awesome fucking... It's a video / GIF. Oh, no shit. Cool. It says that? I might have missed it. Yeah. No, this is well put together. Low-key flex. I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't know what the flex is. Who said he's a Miz Kid? Did someone say Miz Kid? Wait, where's the Mizkif merch? Wait, did I miss Mizkif merch? Wait. Oh, shit. He is a little Miz Kid. Dude's 29. He's destroying all of the stereotypes. He's like a well put together father with hobbies and a fucking in a compelling social life. This is incompatible with everything else we know. All right. Dude looks great. Yeah, he's got a nice roguish kind of charm to it. I mean, he's a very good-looking dude, so that goes for it. He's got a litany of hobbies that, like a whole medley of hobbies that are, for all intents and purposes, like pretty, like, generically attractive as is. And all of his responses demonstrate how he is. How he interacts with people, the kind of, like, it's imbued with specificity and a degree of passion that I think is really significant. It's much better than listing general points of consideration, Showing people what it is you care about or what it is you care for is far more significant than just generally caring about something as, like, an idea, I think that's really significant. I'm convinced that we're going to be uploaded to the internet in 5 years. Yeah, it's fun. This is your weakest one, but, that's a kind of a conversation starter. People will be like, what do you mean? That works. Because it gets people to, like, inquire, It's kind of open-ended. I think that was really well done. Oh, sweet, we're on to Raph. Yeah, I don't know if this guy's in here, but that was probably as close as I could find to, like, a perfect photo. Really well delineated, start to finish. Imbues a lot of personality into his responses, in prioritizing kind of like the experience of this individual rather than, like, let's say, like the specs of the person, right? I think in every way that's far preferable. It's not a means of, like, delineating a ton of statistics about who you are, and trying to cast, like people are going to be more attracted to passion in a sort of, like, kinesis, like a movement, like you're doing things and you care about what you're doing, and finding ways to imbue that kind of specificity and passion into your responses is really significant. Raph, look at this stud. You got a good boy in the house. Good looking dude. I like this too. It's fun. Okay, so that's our main photo. Do we have, like, okay. Fun photo. You got a good dog in the shot, which, it's fun, and you're very happy. Like a good genuine smile means a lot. I like this shot a lot as it demonstrates kind of like hobby, it's like intrigue to it. You go out of the world, someone to take this photo in all likelihood. So there might be a friend involved. That's a good thing. I need to change out the dog photo because it's a great conversation starter that leads with who's the good dog, and then you say, oh yeah, he's dead. No, that's super funny. I actually think it's fine. I actually like that. This is just a goofy photo, Raph. This is okay. This photo isn't moving the needle in any direction. This is too planned. These two are so good. This is like, why'd we take this? I say that with all the love in the world. This one doesn't have to be there, unless there's something I'm missing about it. Am I missing something about this? Or is it just a goofy hat? So the reason why is that, like, so the setting isn't compelling. The setting itself isn't compelling, and there's no, like, it doesn't communicate anything new about you that this photo down here doesn't communicate better. You play in a band, you have a passion and a group of people you enjoy it with. This does it way better to me. So I would say nix this photo and find something else. Maybe a better, like a photo that's more like, this is how I look, more of your face, because I will say, so far, we only really have this look at your face. This one's kind of too removed. Goofy hat and my favorite guitar. It is a goofy hat, but we don't know if you're wearing it because it's goofy. You know what I mean? So what people may see is hat. What, does he like this hat? What's going on with this hat? They don't know that it's a goofy hat. Now, this is a goofy hat. Porn director, great hat. This one's goofy. I do think this is fun. This one doesn't necessarily have to go, but I think that this photo doesn't accomplish anything that these don't. Because this is like group of friends hanging out. This is lovely, and I think it's awesome. Engaging in your passion. Lovely. Amazing. I mean, yeah, it's dubious, right? Porn director could also... But I think that people could find it funny, you know? Yeah, you might run the risk of getting some left swipes just because people can't interpret why you're wearing it, you know? Oh, man. Crusty Mustard, I'm so sorry. Don't care. I think it's funny. And Raph, that's my fucking guy. Yeah, you gotta stick with your guns. If you think something's funny, you go for it. There are gonna be some things that alienate certain audiences, and you gotta roll with it, in my opinion. Massive point of... I agree. You can't essentially sterilize yourself to be the most palatable, like, you know, broadly communicating individual, or you're just gonna get a ton of matches you never want to meet up with. You know what I mean? That's my take. But I do think this doesn't accomplish anything with setting, and I think another photo showing that handsome face would probably be preferable. That's my take. But so far, this is a great collection of photos. This is the only one I would swap for something that's more of like, you know, show that handsome mug. You know what I mean? All right, so let's get into the ins and outs. Profile prompts. Make your personality stand out from the crowd. Anarchist seeking co-conspirator. I like that a lot. That's great. Favorite qualities in a person. Intelligence and curiosity. Really well done. I'm not a big fan of leading with intelligence. I think that a lot of intelligent people don't see themselves as intelligent. And that could be daunting to individuals who might not have that like this has always felt like more of a predetermined metric, whereas curiosity is something that's really within their control. Yeah, WakeWilder viewer self-report with the curiosity component and the anarchy. But that's my take, just because I think a lot of people are really like self-disparaging and might like read this and be like, oh, then I'm not his type, you know? Even if like curiosity to me is more indicative of intelligence than like I got good grades, you know what I mean? And then maybe like you could weave in a little joke here. Curiosity and, you know, willingness to like one-shot an anime overnight, you know what I mean? Like those are, I would do that. Because curiosity is an earnest one, and then you can hit something with something that's funny. And I think that funny is good there. That also communicates something you'd be into. So, not anime, you know. Let's see. The world would be a better place with more punk bands. Yes, I agree. I would go more in depth. I would talk about something within punk itself that you think like you know, more punk bands that play blank, or more punk bands screaming about blank, more punk bands named blank. Something that builds upon that. But it's fun. And that's me being nitpicky. So far, this is all really good. My bio, write a fun and pun. I play bass in a band, and I do concert photography. Also, I can solve a Rubik's Cube in under a minute. That is fun. But it's also very denotative. It's like, these are things I'm into. And, how can we play with bass? Hey, 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 hey. Smoke weed every day. Girls are gonna respond, just ask for the drummer's phone number instead of bass. WakeWilder mod? Yeah, I'm surprised you're not leading with that, Raf. Anarchist punk band, Trojan horse sings pop like... Now that's fun. Yeah, I feel like we could do better on the fun, punchy intro. Can solve a Rubik's Cube in under a minute, so I'm used to finishing fast. Don't ever say that. What's a funny thing we could do? Play bass in a band. Oh, man. I'm over it. Stop it. You just come in here to be antagonistic to people I love. Fuck you. Not fuck you, but you know what? I'm just gonna time you out. I want to time you out instead. That's what I want to do, Krusty. I'm gonna time you out for 8 hours. I don't think fuck you, but please let people be, okay? Do you think I'm roasting Hraf? I am helping him. I'm trying to give whatever insight I can. Trying to give... Does this seem like I'm roasting? I think this is a great profile. It communicates so much like of this individual. It's very charming. The finishing fast. No, I do think that this could be more fun and punchy because this is very denotative, but it also does work because you accomplish some of the fun and punchy stuff in here. You know what I mean? This is Hraf. I only know that because this is how Hraf looks. Maybe I shouldn't even have said that. I don't know if that was okay, actually. Fuck. I mean, yeah, it is there. Wait, no, because his name's there. What am I even saying? His name's there on Discord. What am I even saying? Let's see. I think Rubik's Cube mention is more impressive for male friends than gals, just in my opinion. Yeah, but also, like, it's just kind of meant to be, like, a quirky aside. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a niche interest. But yeah, I think this could be punchier if it was meant to be fun and punchy. But it's descriptive, and if you're happy with it and it's doing well for you, roll with it. Yeah, I don't know what else I'd do there. I think you're doing fine. I think this is great. I would augment some of the language here and get a new photo for number 3. That shows a little bit more of your face. I think you're too lenient with chatters. You should perma-toxic chatters like that. One's in chat if we should start perma-banning more. Am I creating like a shit space in that regard? Should I just be more punitive? Like, I don't actually know. Yeah. Because, like, I'm really precious about it. Like, I never want to ban people to my own detriment. You know what I mean? And I do think that it's a problem, personally. I say give people really lengthy timeouts for first offense, and if they continue, it's perma. Yeah, but why don't we just ban them and they can write appeals? Like, I don't know, man. I just feel like there's some people who are so fucking unrelentingly willing to, like, be antagonistic for the sake of antagonism without, like, any kind of, like, I clearly, it's like I want people to be here if they're interested in, like, absorbing alternative ideologies, but I feel like some people just want attention, and it's kind of tough, you know? Let's see. I can solve a Rubik's Cube in under a minute. Yeah, Raph, I think it's fine. We can make more jokes here, but I think it works. All right, let's get into Tim. Raph, thank you for providing that. Get a great mug. A lot of hobbies, a lot of talent. I would just lead with WakeWilder mod, though. Just about everywhere you can. Nothing pulls like modding for a very mediocre Twitch channel. Trust me. Tim. I totally understand not wanting to show probably like your daughter's face, but there's something so funny about this. Like, yo, fuck this chick. You say the word, she's out, all right? Tim is me, that's younger sister. Cool. And now this could actually be really confusing because it looks like you have a daughter. It does kind of look like there's a back. But I would almost, regardless of how good the photo is, actually, I'll just tell you to nix this all together. I'll tell you why. I can't even really tell what you look like here, and it looks like you have a daughter. I would just find a different one. Iced tea, dog walks, trying new fields, maybe a sandwich from Giola's on Saturdays. Okay, so that's specific to your environment. That's good. Iced tea, dog walks, trying new foods. I could word it differently, but yeah, this is good. Things you actually enjoy that aren't like... I always think more specificity is kind of a benefit. But yeah, these are simple pleasures. Let's see what else we got. All right, Tim. 6 foot on the money. Mechanical design engineer. Sick. In big St. Louis. All right. Long-term relationship, open to short. Casually looking for something serious, but not rushing. Well put. Okay. So this is you, but leading with like a low-fidelity group photo as your second shot to me, not great, because I can't really even tell what you look like here. I'd get a better photo of your face immediately. One time cheese tried to kill me. Clarify what kind of cheese so they don't think that's your dog's name. At first I thought that was your dog. I'd say like one time sharp cheddar cheese tried to kill me or something. Okay. Why? Why? Why is this here? What? This is funny. Doctor says if I don't get laid ASAP, I'm not gonna get better. Okay. Straight up, dog, you don't have a single fucking, like, and I don't mean of, like, it's like you're a good-looking dude who doesn't have a single fucking decent photo of you. You don't have a single... I have no fucking clue what you look like until I get to the very bottom. Just got my big dick resized. That's funny. This photo covers too much of your face, too much of your hair. I don't know. I don't even know what you look like here. All right? I'm giving it to you straight right now. All right? Because I want this for you. Now I'm like, okay, I'm assuming based on the previous photo that that's you. But I don't have any way of ascertaining that. Dog is good. Glad there's dog. Good shot, but also kind of like you're in a group of 3, you know? So it's like you're kind of fucking yourself by not actually showing you, but instead like lumping yourself into group photos. Get a friend with a DSLR and try to take a nice photo somewhere that you like enjoy being around. People might think this is your daughter, and that could totally hurt your fucking profile performance, because that's a very specific thing. Like the possibility of step parenting can be really that can be a pretty aggressive filter. So I would lead with get rid of this. These photos are fine, but what does it communicate about you that you want to communicate? It's a good thing to consider, right? Because like, if you're is this like, are you into bars? You know, it's like you out with your friends, which is a good thing, but are you into bars? What do you want? You know, what do you want to show about it? You know, yeah, I think finishing on a photo in a group is fine. Dog's a fun photo. Do you have a photo of you interacting with your dog? Get a photo of you hanging with your dog, petting this bad boy. Bad photo, you look short in it. Perhaps that might actually be okay to consider. I don't think it's all that much of a consideration. He does have 6 foot listed there, so they'll probably go for the straight up stuff. For the straight up stats, you know what I mean? Not a go with the dog, but point taken. So, Lasher, I'd say get a friend with a fucking decent camera, just like a new iPhone. Get a good photo with you and your dog in a place you like being, you know? Like, it's okay to kind of manufacture this, and I say that because I don't think that most people are, like, conscientiously trying to document their entire life, you know? Like, consciously trying to document everything that they do, you know? I'm just saying it's not a good look. Yeah, I don't think this photo's great. Like, you know, it just kind of... I think this reduces you to kind of, like, a potential frat boy category that people might not take interest in, you know? Hanging out with your friends, loving sports, these are all totally normal things. It's just to what extent do you want to lead with it? Like, is that something you want to put forward? You know, put forth? Is that a filter you want to essentially assert? This is actually kind of a fun photo in the event that you have other things in front of it, you know? Otherwise, I'm like, you know, may or may not have daughter. Likes to drink. I think this is his dog. Cheese tried to kill you. Oh, wait. Hold on. You should combine the one time Cheese tried to kill me in this. This should be right under Cheese tried to kill me. Because then that gives this photo more context and it's funny. I'm into that. That's what I'm into. This photo works, but it's pretty low fidelity. Like, the dude in the background looks like he's in better focus. I think it's separate. Yeah, but who cares? I take a lot of pictures of myself. Big, bad self-conscious issues. Here's the thing, man. You're a good-looking dude. You got a great smile. And you should absolutely take an opportunity to be able to demonstrate that to people, all right? Because it's a part of experiencing you. And the real issue with online dating is that it is fundamentally reductive. It's trying to encapsulate you in as few pixels and as few words as possible, you know? You're a good-looking dude with a good smile. You should get photos that illustrate that so that you don't undersell yourself, because this is an incredibly inauthentic, manufactured way of meeting people, any way you slice it. You're literally creating a catalog for... do I want to hang out with this person, you know? So let's do our best to sell it, man. Get a good photo of yourself. The new iPhones are really fucking solid. Go into a well-lit place in golden hour with your dog and take a few photos, man. In an environment you like. If you're in St. Louis, you could go by the Arch. You could do, are there rivers running through St. Louis? I feel like there are. Find a body of water. Hang out with your dog there. Get some good shots of you with that dog, because that's a big killer. People love a good dog. And a dude who's good at holding the dog down. Just like, play to your strengths, man. I feel weird asking my friends to hang out, just take pics of me, just feel vain, but I gotta get over that. It's not vain. Like, everyone understands. You're trying to build a profile. It's not like you want to, like, tell me I'm pretty. But you're a good-looking dude. I understand the insecurity thing. I also don't like having photos taken of me. If I didn't, like, you know, do it for a fucking job for a while, I wouldn't have half the photos I do. I just do not care. I don't want to document everything I do. But there comes a time and a place where you have to recognize that it has utility. If you want to meet people and you're trying to do it via online means, it's the best way to move forward. So consider a few things. What are your hobbies? Because I can't glean your hobbies from this. And that's an important consideration. I get that you have some friends. It seems like you guys hang out at bars or like tailgate, maybe, is what I could glean from it. But those are the things I think that are most important. Communicate the things you love through those photos, you know? I think that's ideal. Yeah, you're going to be just fine, man. You just got to force the photos. Online dating is just inherently vain? Yeah, I mean, not really, kind of. It's reductive more than it is vain. It's just hard to really show who it is you are. You're trying to get it down to like a few, like having a really quippy bio that makes people giggle will go a really long way, you know? But Lasher, think about what your what are your hobbies? What are some things you're interested in?
You and I were destined.
Yo, Kano, thank you so much for the sub, man. I think this photo is funnier right beneath the cheese trying to kill you, Tim. That's what I'm way more into. Being a happy, funny person goes super far if you're able to communicate that. Yes, Colin earlier did a great job of that. Great fucking job of that, actually. I was super impressed. So I would lean more into that if you are able to, personally. Okay. But yeah, your simple pleasures. Weaving in a little quip here, probably be great. Yo, yo, yo. But honestly, it's pretty solid, man. Of course. I'm glad I could help. I mean, my best advice for all of you is to stop relying on dating apps and stop identifying. Like, this is a perfect... Okay, so this right here is the absolute apex of why it is you shouldn't use dating apps to determine your value to the opposite sex. Because you're watching someone, and I say this with all of the love I have, shoot themselves in the foot. A good-looking, fucking stable dude with passions and friends who, because they're so, bound to being, like, just, like, a normal and well-adjusted, don't fucking document every element of their lives. Don't put a lot of thought into how it is they, to, like, how to get the best photo of themselves, etc., So, like, you have to kind of think in terms of, like, how do you sell yourself in a way that really sucks? And so for all of you, you're better off just going out and trying to meet people via your hobbies and interests that you engage with in the world, right? But this is a perfect example of why dating apps can be so demoralizing, is that, like, I don't know if this profile is performing great, but I would assume it's probably not, because it's not communicating Tim well at all. Like, Lasher's not coming through on this. At all. There's, like, I can hardly tell how he looks, which is a big thing. And he's a good-looking dude with a great smile, You lead with a good photo there, it can change how a profile performs immediately. But we have a lot of, like, low-fidelity, super-cropped videos or photos. So you have to accept that this is inauthentic, presentational, and shitty. And the best thing you should do is accept that briefly and also, like, identify your hobbies and go do that shit in the real world. You're probably going to find the person you want to stay with through that more than you are this. But we can elevate our chances dramatically. So this could be something that might hurt your sense of self-esteem in a way that is really shitty. Like, it shouldn't. Because you're a good-looking dude who clearly has, like, a social life that you value. And, a job that you work hard within, like you have a dog you love. It's just a matter of communicating that you're... Not that you have all of these things independently, but that they all exist fluidly in a way that isn't forced, which is weird and shitty. So really lean with getting a good photo of you with your dog, going out and, like, doing some shit and taking some photos while you do it with people you care about, and trying to, like, get you in a good light, hit golden hour, go out in the world and really try to, like, bring attention to your best features because you are trying to sell them, Think about how you can communicate your hobbies and your interests through your photos, and get more specific and goofy. Like, I like the sandwich from Giola's on Saturdays because it's specific to your environment and it offers a potential date, Because someone could say, I love Giola's, And then you could say, what are you doing next Saturday? You know what I mean? That's huge. No, I don't think that a girl has a bit of an inflated ego. I think that you really misrepresent general interest from desired interest in a way that's kind of tough. Like, I don't think that the matches mean as much to women because they don't communicate the same kind of acceptance. Like, men I know are, like, historically not super prudent on apps, and they just swipe, A lot of people just swipe right indiscriminately, And, like, essentially, like, just because they're looking for any point of connection, They want someone to be like, yeah, I match with you, you're enough. Frankly, I just don't think women experience it the same way. They could, but that's not really what it is I would communicate here. Like, yes, statistically, women are far, far, far more likely to be seen by more men because it's typically like an 80-20 split of user bases. So, like, 80% of the users are typically going to be women, at least on Tinder, right? Which puts you in this position of, like, even if you have a great profile, if you aren't, like, let's say, like, if there are fucking 20 women and 80 men in this, like, let's say, like, contained ecosystem, right? And the women are all swiping, like, once or twice each, and these profiles are ranked by performance, they're only going to see all of them are only going to see the first, like, 3 people, despite the fact that there are 80 dudes not getting seen. You know what I mean? Because it's not, like, randomly generated. Whereas, like, Men swipe far more because they're looking for some point of connection that they're not getting because the odds just aren't in their favor for even having their profile be, engaged with. So, they're swiping maybe, let's say, 20 times. They all get through all of the women, And there are only a couple of people who, they ever get to see in the course of their day of swiping. As opposed to your much larger breadth of individuals. It's just like men are not getting visibility on the apps just as a sheer fact of statistics, like just a matter of user percentages. It's super easy to meet with awful dudes. Yeah, it's a great way of seeing it. I think that to act as if the ambitions it's not even that the ambitions are identical. It's just that the quality of connection is still lacking. So although there is general affirmation, I don't think that blanket affirmation of being given a compliment means as much as it has historically never really been, backed by, affirming actions, So a lot of it feels kind of like, not really schmoozy, but at least like vacant, It's not like a real commitment of I value your presence as much as like, there is something I want from this. And typically, in a lot of cases, it's just to affirm their, virility, right? Their capacity to, have sex. That's really... And people catch on after a while, Women are horny, too. Yes, it is true. So, yeah, I mean, Lasher, it's a good photo, but I think you're going to do well. Just, you're a good-looking dude with a good smile. You have a stable job, things you like. Be more specific with the things you like. The Giolas from Saturdays is great. But finding a way to kind of blend more of imbue more personality into it, I think is fun. That's always going to be my take when it comes to simple pleasures. Put in some dumb stuff too, the smell of something when you open it, like finding like a specific thing to your hobbies, your interests, or the things you like that are more sense oriented, like think of it like you're writing something. So yeah, improving your photos will go a very long way. And putting this under the cheese, I think, would be really funny. Talk to people in your everyday life. Yes, that's always my first point of insight. Always. All right, who we got here? Don't know, but good photo, actually. This is a great photo. You're out in the world, well-dressed, well-groomed, good smile. Strong start. All right, let's see what we got here. Next photo. If I'm not looking for my car keys, you'll find me thrift shopping for my 5th white t-shirt this week. Gaming, cooking, miniature building. Really fun. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm talking about. This is a good way of blending a real denotative, descriptive, elements of who this person is with kind of a fun quip, it's kind of self-effacing, but not in a way that's it's more of demonstrating awareness rather than a lack of confidence, If I'm not looking for my car keys, it's funny. People relate to it. And it demonstrates a charming forgetfulness. I think this is awesome. You'll find me thrift shopping for my 5th white t-shirt this week. So you like thrifting? That's fun. If that's something you love, you communicate that well, and people will have fun with that. If you're very much an aesthete and you like building that kind of environment for yourself, that's cool as fuck. Almost never. I don't even think you have to include it then. You know what I mean? I would just nix it. Being I will almost never do anything physical. There's just no need to even answer the question then, you know what I mean? In my opinion. But yeah, this is fun. You show all the things you love. I think it's a really good start. You got an undergraduate degree, drink socially, smoke socially. Man, don't know what you're looking for yet. I just nix it then. No need to put it there. Don't want. Based. You're a Libra. I don't know if that's good or bad, but you know what? Let's do it. Liberal atheist. Cool. All right, so you have all of your... yeah, I think that this is fun. You've found a way to put good personality into it. Let's see what we got on the photo side. Let's see. I think less group photos is better, personally. I just don't feel any need to really ground it in that way. Every now and then it works, but I don't know to what extent that's going to be the way to swing. This is fun because it puts you out into the world, engaging in something you care about, especially if you enjoy hiking, Snowshoes, fun, pretty environment. You're with your friend. I think this is a great photo. Let's see. What the fuck's... You're fucking... absolutely flattened by booze here, man. This is... him here in the center, just hammered out of his skull. I don't know who the chatter is. Oh, wow. Dude, get photos of you cooking. What the fuck am I looking at, big guy? If you cook like this, show yourself cooking. Get a friend to take a DSLR into your fucking house. Omu Bryce, get a friend to take their fucking camera into your home and get some photos of you cooking food. You need one of those. You're gonna... I don't know. This is... You are fucked out of your skull in this photo. I don't know what this is gonna do here. It is funny, but... Did you put it in because it's funny? Bryce, did you hear the rest of my critiques so far? Have you been in? Or did you just tune over? I have praises and concerns. Hard to create. Okay, fuck yeah, good. I'd nix group photos because I don't think it really does much for you to begin with. They're just like, unless you really want that, I would say no. Like, this is like a really like planned photo that doesn't really communicate anything about you other than you drink and you have a group of friends. It's kind of whatever. You do look good though. It's a nice outfit. Especially, but I don't think it's gonna crush because there's just nothing communicated about you there. Get rid of this photo. Get a photo of you cooking a fucking one of these captivating fucking meals, dude. Look at this shit. If you cook food that looks like this, my God, you clearly have a good camera. Get someone to snap a photo of you taking of you making this shit. This is stunning. This should be your lead. This is such a talent. People are going to be so drawn to this because it communicates passion, you know? You have something that you care enough about to present like this, that's fucking unreal, dude. This is super funny, and I actually am very in. I think this is great. This is a really funny, punctuative photo. But it cannot exist with this one. These two photos, get rid of this photo, get rid of this photo. Get a photo of you cooking and a photo of you doing, let's see. Maybe something involving miniature building with like a friend or something if you have that. But you need, it's a great lead photo. You look good, you're dressed well. Thrifting for your 5th white t-shirt this week. I mean... I love that if I'm not looking for my car keys, now I'm questioning to what extent I really like the thrifting for my 5th white t-shirt, you know? Like, do you love thrifting? Is that, like, core to your being? And do you want people who, like, want to thrift with you? Like, do you want, like, an aesthete that you guys can, like, shop and like, dress and you know, kind of, like, curate an appearance together? Because if so, then you're probably hitting it. It is good. Haven't bought anything new since the pandemic. Cool. I like that. You'll find me thrift shopping for my 5th white t-shirt. Also, actually a massive, environmentalist boon there. Of all Wake viewers are too normal and educated and want to see someone with a shirtless dirtbag. Dude, I've got just normal, adjusted, considerate viewers. It's probably why they just, like, they're not going to be up at fucking 2. Are you kidding me? Thrifting with my partners? Yeah. Thrifting can be a lot of fun. I got to restructure my whole format. I just got to go live during, like, business hours so people could listen to me. I got to be live from, like, essentially, like, 8 to 5. Yeah. So that's what I'd say. That's why I'm actively chatting at this time of night. Do you guys all want early streams? Yeah, so nix this group photo because it doesn't communicate anything new about you. That isn't going to be communicated by, you know, this shit here. Like hiking, out in the world with a friend, fun photo. You're fucked out of your skull here. It is fun, but, like, I don't think this one takes us anywhere. Something that engages some of the passions listed earlier would probably be ideal, personally. And then this is super funny. I love that. Really get some photos of you cooking, man. What if you streamed right as NMP was ending? Maybe morning workout? I've definitely thought about it, man. I've thought about it. I'm just scared to. Yo, what up, Jimmy Lean? That's 7 months, big dog. Let's go.
7 months woo wakey 7.
Big love to you, man. Welcome in. Get live, motherfuckers. Ready to die, motherfuckers. Yeah, man. I like it. I think it fucks. I'm going with it. You guys down? I think it's good. I think it's good. I'd get some photos of you making some food. I think that would be the ideal start, personally. Make some food. Get some shots of that. Maybe incorporate something involving thrifting. I don't know how you'd really take a good image of that, but I'd get rid of those 2 group photos and fill those with something that's more about you making shit. Would it be hard for you to change your sleep schedule? Not really. It would just take a couple of efforts there. Like, we'll see the light on streaming daytimes one day. It's just a waiting game. I'm afraid. You guys have to sell me on it, man. I don't want to go live to fucking no one. Because then I have failed. My stream is dead. All right, hold on. I think we have some new inputs here. Cool. All right, give me 1 second. I gotta go pee. Yo. Wash hands? No, I never touch my penis. I actually just step out and I piss my pants with my hands on my head. I'm afraid of peeing. I'm afraid of toilets. It's siphoning my soul out of my wiener. All right, I'm concentrating all of my juices. I know how this shit works. All right, let's open up these new submissions we have here. We do have, holy shit, you guys are blowing this up. Let's go. Let's go, boys. We got content today. We got content. We're getting all of you laid into a nice relationship. Right, chat? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yeah, maybe we will just go to the morning. I don't know, man. Maybe we will. At least noon. Maybe noon would be a good time. When did Miz start stream today? Does anyone know? I just have to make sure I'm not live when Miz is live. Okay, let's see. Johnny! Handsome. I like this photo a lot. Well-dressed. 3, see, that's what's brutal. He goes live at 3, I'm fucked. It's like a 3-hour stream before I get fucking eviscerated by my sweet Mizzard. I don't have as good a content as Miz. Can't go one. Yeah, this does look like you do look like a Franco. Let's see. Weird, the same type of weird if you sit in your car on your phone for way too long after you get home because it's quiet and no one expects anything of you. I like that. I like that a lot. It's relatable, but there's simultaneously the communication of like a sort of like introversion, you know, desire for stillness. I think people would love that. That would work. Let's see. This is an example of a good group photo. One, he looks really good in it, you know? It's very well lit. It's not just like, you know, people there, but it also like, it communicates like a closeness and like, there's like a narrative of friendship. This doesn't feel like a planned photo. You know what I mean? Also, cock confidence, all right? If we actually follow the rule of thirds, we have an entire... The actual, so the centerpiece of the photo is directing all gaze, all lines here. If we get the green lines going, not only is there cock confidence, there's cock magnetism. His friends want to be closer to it. In fact, he's almost gesticulating as if he is, throating the penis, demonstrating that it has a hypnotic power even on those closest to you. This is, a very cult leader adjacent. That's what we want here, all right? Well done. My best blue steel. We have all these developers in chat, and I never get to talk to any of them about what they do. I actually think this is a great photo. It also is kind of funny. I don't know if that would rub people the wrong way, but that is quite a spread. But this is fun. It's a good photo, and it feels very candid. This feels like friends together, you know, which I do appreciate. I think it's really well done. You've had 2 great photos so far and a really quippy intro. You're kind of killing it. This is fun. As seen in my mom's fridge. Yeah, you're laughing. Sure, fuck it. Good. We already know what you look like. This is funny. I like it. Cock confident. That's what we need. Well taken, feels candid, subtly sexually suggestive, and he looks good, you know? Don't hate me if I... So it's well lit, looks candid. It shows a narrative of friendship and easygoingness. I think it's really well done. Don't hate me if I make us barely miss a train because I go down the stairs at the pace of a senile old man. Why? I like it. I was on shrooms in that photo. Well, you killed it. I don't know why do you go down the stairs so slowly? This is almost concerning. Also, where do you live where there are this many trains? And how do I move there? I just don't know what this means. You know what I mean? I don't know why it's here. Like, I just feel like this opened up a lot of questions that I have. I don't know. It's a weird mental thing. Then I would go with don't hate me if I'm afraid of stairs. You know? Or like a weird thing about me is I'm afraid of stairs. Or if you can, like, cite the thing that, like, put a fear of stairs in your head, you know? I think that, like, it's funny to talk about these, like, ridiculous fears. Because they give us character and they show that there's, like, a vulnerability and a comfort with self. But we gotta know why you're avoiding these stairs. Or just leading with the terror of stairs, I think is funny. What's happening here? You're at a wedding, I'm assuming? Are you abroad in this photo? But the prompt getting you to ask these questions is its own positives. It gets interest. Yeah, you can use the prompt, just change it. You know which one he is? It's true. You lived in Tokyo for a couple years? I would fucking lead with that, dude. Can we? Have you talked in here about Tokyo with me? I'm trying to travel to Tokyo. It's my primary present ambition is to ground myself in Tokyo. I want to be in Tokyo for at least a month for non-stop IRL content. Okay. I'll brag to you about my friends if you toss me a couple pity laughs when I try to be funny. Really good. Super fun. Because it is funny that you're saying it, but it also, like, demonstrates, like, if nothing else, kind of like an absence of ego, a willingness to fail. Like, I think that this is all really well communicated. Really well communicated, man. This is so funny, dude. I love doing fucking b-boy shots, man. I adore this. I used to, for the longest time, only pose doing prayer hands, like prison squats. That was it. Yeah, is Tinder actually as brutal? I don't know if he needs help. He probably just wanted it rated. This is a great one. Which one are you? I don't. This photo can go though. This one, I don't even know. Are you this one? It's a cool photo, but it does nothing here. This one can go. This is a great shot. I don't know if this one really moves the needle. I would find another way to show that you've lived in Tokyo, because this just like looks like you have like a cool cohort of Japanese friends. You know what I mean? I think this would almost be better serviced in like show another shot that like clearly shows you in Tokyo to like more clearly illustrate that element of your life. And not that this photo is meant to be like, I've lived in Tokyo because Asian people are in the photo. It's not what I'm communicating either, but like in favor of this photo that doesn't really tell us much about you, but like does like bring a lot of, it's like an interesting, it might make us think about question. Like it might make us think about question. Yeah. It might inspire in us curiosities. I would rather see something that grounds you in like set and setting. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is a great profile, dude. You have a ton of really good photos. All of your responses are quippy. Explain why you're terrified of stairs, or just make the joke that you're afraid of stairs. Because this makes it seem like there's like a physical issue. It was at my friend's wedding, and it's a good photo, but it's also like it's like it's heartful, you know? It's heartening, I should say, but it's a bad photo compositionally, and there's not a lot of detail. Like, it's a very low fidelity, weird photo. But if you want to communicate, like, I go to my friends' weddings, it's fun. It just doesn't move the needle. Like this one does. This is fun, beautiful scenery. There's an element of, like, character bleeding through it, you know? So you don't have to necessarily get rid of that one, but this one does absolutely nothing for us. This is just like unless you love beer pong and that's like a must for you. You're like, must love beer pong. It does nothing. But other than that, this is a great profile, dude. This is a great profile. You killed it. Hopefully you're doing well with it. All right. Let's see. We've got Michael. Michael, your best blue steel. I'm not a big fan of selfies at all. In fact, I think that they're going to be very poorly received regardless of how good looking you are, especially in like this light. This looks like fucking standard, circular light fixture and a bedroom lighting. Blue steel is the look from, whatchamacallit. It's the look from Zoolander. All right, Michael. Simple pleasures. Talking about literally anything. Movies, books, Pokemon Life, etc. Gotta build that one out. Gotta build that one out, big dog. Some people don't have friend selfies. Oh, you gotta ask your parent. Ask literally anyone. Ask a stranger to take a good photo of you. You gotta build this out. Ground something you love about opening a fresh pack of Pokemon cards, you know? Finishing a book and realizing that you are like, you know, closing between the covers a universe you felt as if you lived and breathed within, you know? Get us something else, man. Give us more. Talking about life. You love talking about life? What about life? Give us something specific that you love about these things, you know? Like, and this is your chance to, like, communicate a passion, you know, and show that you care about something. That's the fucking victory, that you care about something. All right, let's see. What do we have here? Michael, 25. He's straight. Who's it a magnet for straight? Oh, it's what you're attracted to. Okay, it's not specific to... I was like, what? What's the symbol that they've chosen for gay? How does that work? What's like, what are the queer symbols? Is there like a narrative there? Okay, it's clearly not the case. SUNY York, let's see. We've got Floral Park, liberal, English, and monogamy. Cool. All right, yeah, we got all the the kind. It was all fun and games until you're a good-looking dude. Why is there a photo of you in a shower? What does this mean? It was all fun and games until what? Don't be yourself, guys, and you'll get women. If you think that's what I'm saying, no. You said your simple pleasures, talking about literally anything. I'm saying show what you love. That's it. Communicate it more bravely. You know, don't occupy generalities. Show what you love and show that you love it. That's not me telling you to manufacture something about yourself. It's just to not leave so much on the table. You need to inspire something in this. Like, people need to feel something that they can connect with. You know what I mean? I don't know what this means. Guess the backstory of this photo. There aren't even context clues to guess with. Where are we? All right, we've got some work to do, all right? Green flags I look for. The Italian flag. The Guyanese flag. Being cool. The Jamaican flag. All right, this is the first one that kind of landed to me. I think this is funny. I would look for flags that are more agreed in their totality, though. But this is kind of funny. Caught in the act of what? You don't need these prompts. It looks... all right. I hyped myself up by acting like a Looney Tunes character. All right. We are going to absolutely drive her to orgasmic bliss. Are you ready for the stick? You are smart. You are capable. Fuck, man. You be more. This is almost funny, but you gotta say like I don't know. Like, you know, saying meep meep. I don't know, like make it more specific unto the individual. Like what Looney Tunes character? How do you act, you know? To ground it in something that makes more sense to me, like that communicates clearly what it is you mean by that would help. The advertisement for my life, dude, why did you pick any of these? I feel like you made this for me to be utterly fucking just dizzied by this. What is that? Are you shitting? You're on a toilet. You are on shower to your right. You are taking a dump, big guy, without a doubt in my mind. You're like a handsome fucking dude too. You're just you are shooting yourself in the foot. Me watching, dude. I feel like you're about to show me your cock on Omegle right now. That's what this photo looks like. It looks like you're about to roll over and show dong. He gives zero fucks. You know, it's like there's an irony component to this that's a triumph, all right? This is what I'll tell you. This right here is either going to be the funniest. This is the issue, is that people who know you, if you're making a joke what the advertisement for my life would look like and you're probably shitting, I don't know. Like, this is kind of funny in, like, how, like, unconcerned you are. You know what I mean? I almost don't even... This almost feels intentionally, like, nonsensical. Guess the backstory of this photo? Dude, it looks like you are about to go beat that kid up. That's what it looks like. The backstory of it looks like I documented the beating of an 8-year-old. That's how, like, this is a very cold, dead stare with very odd lighting around it. It looks like you're like, we're about to go fuck this kid's day up. Like it's like like you're pranking the mom, you know? What? He owes me money. It's like, well, what did you do? It was all fun and games until I have no. What do you have taken? What is this one? Are you in here? I'm not. Here are the things you got to know right now. This might be the funniest profile if it was intended to be funny. If not, this seems like you might be misusing the profile. I just don't know if you mean to do this. Like, it will change everything. Because, like, if you don't mean to do this, I'm going to shift my tone here. Because it's kind of hysterical. And, like, there is, like, kind of a victory to it in a way. Like, I wanna deliver this, man, to the best of my ability. Okay, this is the funny thing. This is really funny. Green flags I look for, actually really good. I love it. Now, homie's out of here. Yeah, you don't have to. Okay, but this is what I think we should do. All right. Let's assume that this isn't. This can be funny if they read the prompt. If not, this is a very odd photo. I don't know what you're into, but you're a financial analyst, which does not clarify it either. Big first few things would be one. Yeah, a longer list of green flags would actually be kind of funny. Like, really, like, even not even putting green, like, being cool in there and really just being as dry as fuck with it, I think kind of nails it. You gotta take a photo out in the world with real lighting, with your front cam, man. Or with your back cam, the rear cam. Because this is kind of funny. And you're a good-looking dude who's, like, not doing yourself any favors. You know what I mean? Only bathroom selfies. Okay, it is funny. Here's how you make it seem intentional, okay? You take more or less the same photo in the same place. You know? Then it can be something else, you know? But you gotta, like, ask a friend to take a photo. Acting like a Looney Tunes character, what I would say there is rather than saying acting like a Looney Tunes character, specify the Looney Tunes character and how it is you act and why it is that gets you hyped. You should probably give a little more to it. But this is, like, and also, like, nix these advertisements unless you're, like, all taking the same photo in the same place. But you're, like, a good-looking dude. You got to get out and get, like, the right lighting and have someone take a photo that communicates something about you. Otherwise, the prompts aren't too bad. Like, you answered things in a way that's pretty funny. The prompts to the photos are bizarre. But when you see talking about literally anything, I'd talk about the things that you actually take a sort of interest in more specifically, you know? When you say, like, you know, like, talk about literally anything, you could be, like, talking about, you know, like, Pokemon conspiracy theories or something, you know? Like, literally anything that demonstrates passion as opposed to listing things that you find interesting, because passion is more interesting than any, like, list of shit that could, like, you're going to communicate interest better through a passionate response than a kind of like a broad denotative response, you know? If someone says, I love watching movies, I'm far less interested in, like, connecting with them over films than if someone's, like, you know, like, talking about, like, Easter eggs in The Shining, you know? That's going to be more interesting to me. Pepe Le Pew. No, I'm not saying, like, only, right? But, like, That's also why my simple pleasures should be, I think, more, joke adjacent personally. Or you should find something you're passionate about. But communicating passion or like a specific experience means a lot, because this isn't just that. I feel like I have latent skills. How should I go about gaining confidence to do them? I feel like I'm a quick learner, but I don't want... I mean, and this is something I struggle with as well. There are a lot of things I would love to do that I'm afraid of failing in. But the only way to ever develop competency is to risk failure. And not just risk failure, but accept it and build upon it, you know? You are constantly advancing and evolving your efforts. And if you can't accept that you're going to fall on your face a lot, you're going to have a very difficult time moving forward. So I'd say first things first, move towards actually addressing your, the fear itself, because the fear is what's preventing you from doing, and not doing means no new confidence gained. You're not going to gain confidence in a vacuum, you know? Same thing with like dating people, you know, or going out. It's like you're not going to feel better reading a ton of books on it. You're going to feel better going out, falling on your face, and realizing that it's not that fucking bad. I need to figure out my fears. Well, what do you think you're afraid of, man? I think the reality of all fears is that typically, unless it's an entirely unknown, we've overcame it, you know? Yeah, me and my friends made this profile together because we were being stupid, but I appreciate the commentary. Okay, then that's really fun. I think, is this actually something that you're using, though? Super cool guy? I kind of can assume, but I do want you to, like, no, this is funny. There's just, like, it could be funnier. You know? Like, getting more consistent gags, like taking all the same photos in the same space, I think is better. You know? Like, taking an identical photo for all of these prompts, to me, is like a funnier gag. Not the same, but something that's just like marginally different. You know? This is haunting. This photo looks like it was taken like moments before disaster. There was a crime that happened after this, you know? Lifting all the green flags you can think of here would be ideal. God. Listing with the Looney Tunes characters would be funny. Yeah, it's fine though. I think you got to get out and take some good photos, but otherwise it's funny. Where do I send in to get reviewed? Stembridge. What up, baby? Actually on our Discord, !Tender. All right, so who do we have here? Who do we have? That's what I'm using right now. Do you like the strategy, or do you... Okay, hold on. Do you want actual tips on how to build it out, or do you like the joke? Because, like, I can either help you build out the joke, or I can help make it, like, more, like, generally... You know, like, what it communicates. The Guess Where I Am's at a mini golf course? Bullshit. It looks like you're staking out a water park for kids. And trying to conceal your identity. Like... Because, like, I'm down to give you, like, all the advice I have. But I just need to know how you want to build it out. Because we can build out the joke. It's okay when Wake bashes him? What? Alright, hold on. I'm pulling up all the other submissions right now. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, let's build up the joke. Okay. If you want to build up the joke, this is what I'd say. Actually, let me pull up all your photos again real quick. I'm pulling up new submissions right now. Okay, let's pull up... Okay, let me get all of my boy Michael back up. Okay, let's build out the joke. Okay, so the whole, like, Okay. Let's go, Michael. All right. I like the idea of like all of these prompts being like strange and totally unrelated from the photo. I think the thing that's funnier to me is if all of the photos are like, you have to find a way to make them all kind of identical and like vacant, in my opinion. Like if you just really did like a peepo stare, kind of like, and like kind of like looking down at the camera, all in just like different places. I think that's fucking hysterical, but also kind of scary. But if it's just a joke, you might actually find people who think it's really funny, you know? But it has to be either like ground it in the same exact place or give the same exact look with like it was all fun and games until this is really funny to me. Or just you standing like very still up and down in like random places that should be fun, not having fun, you know? A lot of dumb things like that I think could be another way of like just get a green screen. That could also be really funny, green screening it and putting yourself in like historical events, you know? Like JFK getting assassinated. It was all fun and games until... Like, there are a lot of fun, dumb things you could do with that. Like, just play all the jokes out. Then you don't have to really worry about getting certain photos. This is still haunting. I don't think this photo should ever exist here. This only makes you seem criminal, and I'm horrified of it. Hold on. I missed some stuff from $1. What did he say? Having an issue where having these thoughts in the moments where I don't have a chance to actualize them, but still don't stop dreaming about it when I'm busy. I keep stopping right before I go through with a new thing. It feels like my days meld together. It's hard to explain. What I'd say is I actually know the feeling a lot, man. Start with the smallest, like, adjacent effort and try to tell yourself that you're going to do it poorly. Like, try to do something poorly. You know what I mean? Just once. You're going to find that, one, it's very difficult. And it will get you to actually attempt in some capacity. You know what I mean? Good spot with some docs and nurses who took care of me while I was in detox. We never pulled the trigger on rehabilitation. I'm 30 months off alcohol. That's amazing, dude. Well done. I must do it because I'm afraid of it. Well, yeah, I think in many ways we're afraid of like I'm someone who likes to prepare a lot of information prior to attempting something. Like I want to feel competent before I ever endeavor to do it, you know? But all that does is ever delay action, and action is like, I mean, that's the greatest catalyst for efficacy, right? Like if you aren't trying, you will never learn where it is you're deficient and what it is you need to then labor towards. You just like continue to try to accrue more tidbits, factoids, you know, methodologies, but you have to do. So a fun exercise is, how can I say I'm going to do this poorly? You know, to eliminate expectation that you may be placing on yourself to do it perfectly, try to do it poorly the first couple times and just see how it works. Green flags, I would just list every green flag you can think of and not put in being cool. All the green flags. Fallout the Golf Course wasn't even there before I had the prompt of, are you a dog person or a cat person? And it was just a cat meme. Now, say that, but then just put the same fucking haunting pre-crime dog, the golf course photo there. Caught in the act. Yeah, you should green screen yourself into things, man. They're just all related to the JFK assassination. Every one of those photos is just you next to Jackie O and JFK with a different expression. Oh, fuck, man. No, I think that you could do a lot of fun stuff with this, man. Caught in the act could be just like any dumb like breaking of the rules, but I think that you could really like you could plan all this. Like get him put on a list now. Look, man, if I'm the one giving the ideas, it's my fault. I mean, this one's kind of funny because it's so odd. With other jokes built around it, it could be funny. Muttering to myself like Elmer Fudd. I hype myself up by only speaking in Roadrunner meep meeps for 24-hour windows. It's something dumb, man. Can I give you my LinkedIn profile instead of Tinder? I need a job, not a girlfriend. I'm gonna fucking meep. Takeaway is I need to learn Photoshop for this. Now, the fun thing is it should look bad. But also, like, realistically speaking, I think that if you just want to, like, turn this into one big joke, it actually could work for you. If you do a lot of memes, same face, same environment, stuff like that, with these strange, totally dissonant prompts, I actually think it's a really funny thing. This does look like an Omegle disaster, though. Full disclosure. That's exactly how I interpret it. All right. What else do we have here? All right, we already did you. Did we do you? Oh, we got Chilson in the house. Let's go. Okay. So we have you filming something here. Cold, steely eyes here. There's actually, you have beautiful eyes, Chilson. Beautiful eyes. Video editor. It's actually on that. You may need to know, my name is Zach. I'm halfway through a 30-year emo phase. I once saw a cat. That's kind of funny. I once saw a cat. How can we play that one up? Because this is a fun start. Huh. Is there a meme to the I once saw a cat? Sick. Playing an instrument. I love that. What else do we have here? Now, this can be alienating, but if you're a hardcore smoker, you might need to lead with this, all right? You might need to lead with this. He's less than a mile away. Well, yeah, he's in the basement. Of course. You gotta know, when you if you lead with cigarette, you could push him away. You know? Also, you never look at the camera. I know you have some other photos of you doing some other stuff, like more music stuff I think would make you look great, you know? Get out in the world a little bit. It ties everything together. You look good in this photo, but it's not gonna it's not gonna sell, you know? You need to put yourself out in a like a more like interactive capacity. I guess, wait, is this a hockey rink? Are you filming a hockey game? I don't look at the camera in either in those either. Yeah, but you don't have to look, and you do something within it that I think is of value. Refund? Wait, why do you need a refund? Did you redeem something that I didn't see? What'd you redeem? Hydrate? Okay, shit. Thank you. Junior Mafia. Gum scaling, gum chewing in person scales with attractiveness. That might just be having I think that people who are concerned with grooming are going to be chewing gum to ensure their breath smells good. So there might just actually be like a literal like correlative relationship between those who do it and how it is people are perceived. Grooming might be an issue for this one. Facial hair and hair needs to be cleaned up a bit. Yeah, I would agree. But like, you know, also like the unkempt nature of it's fine. I just think it has to be grounded in a different environment, you know? Like, it shouldn't look like you in isolation, but like you out doing something in more of like a social or creative capacity, I think is fine. I got the Bronic by the tree, cause hair's great, we should clean up the beard. Yeah, I could. I don't think it's the worst part. I think it's more so just putting yourself in a more like active posture, because Tinder's super reductive. Also, like, again, all of these sites are dog shit. Do know that, you know? Some ladies tonight that should be having my baby. Baby. What do we got here? You and the homies? I like this more. I think that this would fit neatly into it. You know, it shows that handsome mug. That's what they want to see. You got to give the people what they came for. So I'm actually real in. I think that weaving that one in will help a lot. At the mall round 2. Me, my ex, and our kid. Always lead with your ex. All right, let's see. We got Ibanez. So that'd be my suggestion. Build out the I once saw a cat. Have another joke to it, I think. Would be fun. All right, we got our Ibanez looking yoked as fuck. Broad, strong, in charge. Personal trainer at gym. Let's go, Jason. All right, what do we got? Personal trainer, chef, musician, yoga, always tired ostrich. What does that mean? What is the ostrich? Never. Looking for something casual. Again, tread gently with that. Only because that's just more likely to paint you in a light that you might not want. You know what I mean? You are the ostrich. No red circles. How are people going to know you're live? I think it's just better to lead without that. And if that's all you're looking for, just communicate that in person. You're probably going to do better in that regard. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. This is so sparse, it's actually effective. It's when you either like kind of like when you write a lot but don't communicate enough personality that it gets skipped. This is just like these are the things I do. If you're into it, good. If not, move on. Rather than like, you know, likes to lift weights, looking strong. This is a good photo. I'd get some photos out of the gym though. Okay, nice. Dog. Boxing. More. Dude, do you cook like this? Why are there no photos of you fucking making these meals, man? What's with my viewers and being closet master chefs? Fucking lead with some of those photos. They're far more humanizing than gym shots, man. Far more human. Gym shots are fine, and it's important to communicate it, but maximum 1. In my opinion, maximum 1. Otherwise, it can be just a little self-indulgent. Cool. Photos of you cooking. Wait, you hate cooking now? Like, you don't want to do it? It's all your Instagram. Look at that shit. Look, here's what I'll say. If you're willing to say chef in your fucking bio, then throw some fucking... If you're willing to use this, use some photos. Salt and pepper and heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, Rap Attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall. Do you have a better photo of you with your dog? No, just go have someone take photos of you cooking. You know what I mean? I do that. Get a better photo of you and your dog, because this is just kind of like low fidelity. Like it's a very grainy photo. Yeah, if you don't like cooking anymore, I wouldn't emphasize it. Some of us bitches want yummy food. I mean, if you're down to cook for someone, then keep it in. If not, I'd move on. But like dogs and you know, cooking food will probably help you. We don't all have friends. Ask your family or set up a self timer, dude. At a certain point, you gotta do it. Ask another friend or even get a still from a film cooking. Yeah, another great way of doing it. I agree. But I think that would go a long way. This doesn't do anything either. It's just like a photo of a sleeve. No real need to show it, personally, in my opinion. Unless you put that on yourself. It's just like an I have tattoos photo. I'd rather see more about who you are and what you do. Learning how to speak dog or cat and taming a girl's. Yeah, it shows that you're the alpha. Always yell at your date's animal. She'll see you as a paternal figure and want to sleep with you. That's how you do it, all right? Always tired ostrich. This doesn't make sense, though. What do you mean to ostrich? I should with passion or hatred. So... I would say get like maybe 1 gym photo, 2 max. Get some photos of you cooking, better photo of you with your dog. And something of you playing music. You say you're a musician, but you don't have anything in there in service of like a ton of gym photos. We don't need that shit, man. You got 1 that's good. Get something with you cooking, get something with you playing an instrument. You know what I mean? That's going to go way further, way further. But other than that, it's like communicating your interests makes sense. It's okay to be sparse in the bio. Frankly, if you have good photos and kind of an interesting life, I think you can take that pretty far. But answering some prompts on Bumble and getting a little bit more into that, I think will help distinguish your profile, you know, finding a way to imbue your personality and your fascinations there. I would take the chef out. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Do you like cooking for others? Or do you just not want to cook for yourself? I mean, like, you know, if you're really over it, move on, you know? But I do think you could build it out, you know? I do think you could build out your profile to show a little bit more of you. You hate cooking professionally? Yeah, but if you hate cooking, if you like, then keep it all in and get some photos of you cooking, man. When you say personal trainer, chef, musician, so show more musician. There's no musician shots in there. We need that. You know, I think that personally, this might be a bit sparse to like communicate well. It just like, I'd like to, so you're relying on your photos carrying you essentially, which they can because you have an interesting life, you know, and like a lot of hobbies and you photograph it, you know, so that's good. But what I would personally prioritize is how can I imbue more of my passions into some of what it is I'm putting out there. It's okay to be sparse with all the things you're detailing, but it helps, one, communicate that your profile is real and that you are like a textured, living, breathing human that has interests and passions and curiosities, and I think that that's the best thing to do. Put that you're 7'8". But yeah, otherwise good profile. Handsome dude. We got our sweet Stimbridge. This is a very funny photo, and I do like it. I'll do anything for views. That's a really funny quick hitter. I think that a lot of dating profiles, if you have good photos and like a 1-sentence quippy bio, it's enough to get a swipe, and I think that's okay. Like something quippy that like is like even just like kind of like almost like a non sequitur ethos thing like this is good, you know? You know, really good. Especially if like you're not like actually like an influencer or something, you know, because that would get old if you were like really doing that. But no one would do that. It's like this just funny, goofy like critique of like a broader culture. I think it's funny. Yeah, goofy. All these very well lit photos. Working in IT. Cleaned up. Looks good in a suit. And you know what? He gets out and about, baby. Dude gets out there. Makes it happen. I think this stuff's fun, man. Let's see. Go ace or go home. This is... So, what I'm going to get from this... We don't need the serial killer photo. Why do you look so angry? You look like Dark Triad Chris Pratt. You're like, don't say I didn't warn you. Oh, you think I'm happy? Think again. This guy's probably pretty easygoing because he's full on human meat. It's anxiolytic. This photo is horrifying. You're a handsome dude. You do not. This is scary. This is funny. This is a good selfie because it communicates something about who you are. I'll do anything for views. I'm going to get on TV fast. This one's really funny. I'd swap this out for anything other than drinking and partying. It looks like you just like get hammered. That's like what we have so far. Like, this dude fucking sends it, you know? But it's good. I like it. I would swap this photo out. I'll do anything for views. It's a really funny quick hitter. I don't think Tinder incorporates a lot of depth. I don't think that you should try to. I think if you have a Bumble or a Hinge, it would play a bit differently. And you should fill out more prompts because they're goofy, you know, and find a way to get more of your personality, kind of like, you know, imbued into it like that. But wait, what? Who said? Why does he look like he will cheat on you with your roommate? That's what you get. I think these are fun, man. But you have a lot of, like, partying photos, which is good because it's, like, you're social, and it's good to show that you have that, like, you know, kind of, like, that you're well-adjusted. This is murderous and horrifying, but you do look very, like, you're a handsome dude, so, you know, like, I get it because you're like, this is a good photo, but it is far scarier than it is flattering. I can give you my Hinge prompts. I'd love that, actually. That's probably more interesting. This photo's super funny. Yeah, just like you communicate your identity well, like, because I know Hayden, he's awesome. He's like very goofy, easygoing, and like, you know, it shows that you're like a fun, adaptable person. So like, I think you do really well with this. The serial killer photo is so out of left field and strange. It almost communicates like I feel like I have to show you like the best photo I have. You don't. You have so many good photos that show that you're a fun, like you know, affable, good-looking dude. This one works. But yeah, I'd love the Hinge prompts, because I think there's more to work with on that. Okay, do we have any other profiles in this bitch? Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, sick. All right, let me open all these bad boys up. What do we got here? Boom. 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 Okay. Let's do this shit. All right. My profile. Devosh over the kitchen, hanging. What fucking app is this? What am I looking at? I don't even know this one. It's been a while since I've done the dating app thing, but this is foreign as fuck to me. An old soul. Like to spend quality time getting to know someone, learning to cook, so hope you don't mind being my guinea pig. Vegetarian, looking for something long term. I like that. It's an Indian dating app? Oh, really? Oh, is this you, Piplup? Piplup, or do you just know it? Yeah, I like this. I feel like this is a weird emote to use ever. Like, it always makes it seem like I feel like you're gonna roofie them now, you know?
I'm trying a different kind of meat today.
It almost never works. You know, like, it kind of feels like, I may be a nice guy, but I'm also a bad boy. You know, like, it just kind of, I never like the emote. It's always odd to me. However, everything else is good. I think for someone who's looking for something long-term, this is good. An old soul values quality time. Yeah. Learning to cook. So I would almost turn this into a proposition. Hope you don't mind being my guinea pig. Like, make it like, down to be my guinea pig or something, like, make it like more of like something you're offering to them, because I think that could open like a good line, like it could open up like, some kind of discourse for a potential date, which I think is good. Looking for something long term. Yeah, you know what? This kind of works fine. That works fine. Or maybe just say learning to cook and looking for a guinea pig, or looking for someone to be my guinea pig. You know what I mean? Something like that would work. No emoji. The hope you don't mind is like, it kind of seems like you're going to be bad at it, whereas like learning to cook and in search of a guinea pig, That could communicate a little better to me. Or it might show that you're trying to cook a guinea pig. But the hope you don't mind, I don't know. I think that it would be more fun to turn it into something that people could be like, I'll be the guinea pig, Because hope you don't mind being my guinea pig, one, makes it seem like it's like implicit that they're going to have to. And like, I don't know. I just think that like there's a more charming way to approach it, right? Yeah. Like, novice cook in search of food guinea pig, something like that, That could work, something like that, you know what I mean? But what if they think that he wants to cook them as a guinea pig? Really into cuy. Taste tester could be just like a better way of, yeah. Novice cook in search of brave taste tester could be a good way of going forward with it, You really are nitpicking, aren't you? Kind of. I'm just trying to find anything to add to it, man. Otherwise, what the fuck's the point of submitting? You know what I mean? I think that it communicates well. I don't even think it's like nitpicking. It's just like sometimes small shifts in verbiage can like totally change the tone and how it's received. You know what I mean? And I do think it's relevant to do. You know what I mean? Let's see. Old soul, like spending quality time getting to know someone. Yeah, it's fun. I think that, do you feel as though this is reflective of who you are? That's the best thing first. Yo, as an eye to you, Blake, you beautiful boy. It's good to see you, man. If you feel as though this is true to you and what it is you want to communicate and how you kind of approach relationships, I think it's awesome. All right. I tend to be less like, I guess like maybe like sincere, but I'm also like, we all have our own way of like approaching interpersonal connection, and I can rely a bit more on like finding like dumb jokes constantly between people like interpersonally, which is different than in other environments. Yeah, of course, we're going to go through everything. So I like that this is sincere, looking for something long-term. It's really well put. It's just like, this is a very wholesome, kind photo, or a very wholesome, like kind bio to compliment like a very kind face. Like, and you're a good looking dude, big smile. I think this is really good. But this photo, I would nix. With all the love, you seem like very unsure of yourself in this photo. Like, it's kind of like you just heard someone say something that you can't, like, you're like, you sure that's what you wanted to say?
You know, that's kind of what I feel like I'm getting from it. It's like, is that really what you want to end with? No, that word. That's how it looks to me. But you're a good looking dude. I'm never a big fan of just selfies like this personally. I think it's always better to just like find someone to take a shot for you out in the world. This is better. I like the smile. Hold on. Most useless skills embarrassing you in public. Sorry, not sorry. How are you embarrassing them? I would nix hee hee. I'd nix it. I would go with, instead of embarrassing you in public, embarrassing everyone I know in public. But how are you embarrassing them? This is a good question. You know what I mean? You're a hee-hee user. And again, it's so prescriptive, right? Very good looking dude. He's killing it. Right. There's no XD at the end. You need the XD. But how do you plan on embarrassing them? This is an important question. You know? Is it because you're embarrassing, or because you, like, you know, are like hanging out with friends and they'll be like, it's kind of like when you pissed your pants in PE in the 5th grade, you know? Like, what do you mean by that? Are you going to be a dick, or, like, are you embarrassing, you know? Because what I would say is, like, mention something that you've done that is embarrassing like that, you know? I didn't want to write too much. Yeah, I totally get that, but, I would say, like, my most useless skill is accidentally embarrassing myself in public, you know? Something like that, you know? My most useless skill is finding myself in the most embarrassing situations possible, you know? I think that stuff's fun. But embarrassing you in public is fun, but it's like, how are you doing it, you know? But, great photo. Let's see. I'd get a photo of you playing tennis, because we have enough photos of you just, like, smiling now. But it is fun that you show us that you have another hobby. But if you have a photo of you actually playing tennis, that'd be fun. This is how I'll know you could be the one. If you like making home-cooked meals together, but have our favorite restaurant on speed dial and I inevitably mess up, this is fun. It's in reference to an earlier joke, which is like, maybe this would be an opportunity to show another element of yourself, you know, rather than playing on the same thing twice. But that's not really the most important thing. Never drink, work out often. What's this photo? Is this you working out? Is there more to this photo? Yeah, I would delete this photo. This isn't going to move the needle for you. Yeah, get a photo of you playing tennis. Nix this photo. Good shot. I'd replace the other selfie with something else. And maybe clarify this one a little more. And consider whether or not you want to build out, make this into a different joke than one referenced before. But it's really not all that relevant because it's still pretty funny. And I like that. And add the pic of Hayden. Yeah. Okay, wait. We have Stembridge's prompts. Best dad joke. What's the difference between a chickpea and a lentil? Wait, do you not answer it? I can slap my arms very fast. Yeah, these are funny. These are quippy. You don't have to remove the hee-hee if you like the hee-hee. That's like literally just a personal preference thing. Hraf's dead on. Like, Hraf's like, I like it, go for it. That's like, it's like, don't be me. You know what I mean? Like, don't just abide by my... I should even take into account that. Like, he is totally fine. I just don't do it. So it's totally fine. You gotta match me for the answer? That's fun. I like it. He is shaming? I know. And I feel bad. All right, no, those are both good. What is the difference between a chickpea and a lentil? I never had a lentil on my face. I was gonna say, is it about chicks pissing? Oh, fuck. I've never had a lentil on my face. I think it's perfect. It's perfect. Well done. Yeah, no, you've got a great profile then. That's super fun. Okay, do we have any new submissions? If not, then we are done with Tender. Anyways, guys, we can maybe do this monthly. I think it'd be a fun thing to weave into rotation if chat would be interested in that. But everyone who submitted today, I'm grateful for you. Welcome in. And I maybe will move on to doing some either reacts or playing Persona for a bit. Let's see. You know what's great, man? Since I followed all these channels, my For You has gotten better. Now, it's not like I want to watch all these things, but it's not all the same dumb shit I had before. Wake, why are you scared? Scared of what? I need to get my food, so let's put something up there. That word is Asmongold. Why should you never type that on YouTube? That doesn't make sense. What time zone is Wake? We're Central, baby. We're Central. What time zone are you, motherfucker? What do you want from me? No, I haven't deleted today's broadcast VOD. Let's see. Well, yeah, but that's the point, is to react to things Asmon's reacted to. In fact, let's see if Asmon has a good video for us to react to. Let's put on something real quick while I go get my food. Let's go with... No longer a serial killer. He crushing the cereal, though. He crushing the cereal. He did AI Tyler 1. Jesus Christ. Shit, man. Let's go. What happened to Chipotle? Wait. Did something happen to Chipotle? Asmon played Valorant? That could not... There's no way he had fun doing that, dude. Google just killed YouTube?
It's time.
Okay, I don't know how that happened.
The stories you've heard are true.
There's no way that's valid. It's definitely clickbait. The Supreme Court could destroy the internet? That's actually too interesting shit. Maybe we need to look at that.
This case has the potential to
Asmon's playing Valorant right now? No shot. I watched him play Overwatch, and it did not seem to click. All right, we got to find a dumb video to put on that I won't miss while I go get my food. I don't even know why I do that, by the way. I literally just go right down. Fucking, I'll be right back. My God. Okay, let's go. What do we have here? This will kill YouTube. Let's see what he had to say.
Susan Wojcicki is out as CEO of YouTube, and the new CEO is going to drive this place into the ground. Say goodbye to YouTube as you know it.
I doubt he'd be saying this.
Have you believe? Is it actually true? Is that too reactionary? Well, let's look at the story. Yesterday, Susan tweeted out, after 25 years at Google, I'm out. She had a longer blog post, which goes into her background. If you didn't know, she was the 16th employee at Google. Google was actually made at her childhood garage because her sister was dating Sergey Brin, one of the founders of Google.
This woman has to have so much fucking money.
Crazy. She's been CEO.
Probably has such insane amounts of equity in that company.
For 9 years, but you might only know her for a couple things. One, maybe an interview that I did with her. I mean, shit, you're watching me now, so you might have watched this video as well. If you have watched both videos, subscribe. Come on, 2 videos? I mean, we got something going on here, me and you. Second thing, removing dislikes. But let's be real. What does a CEO of a company that big actually do? I think 3 things if you had to boil it down. 1, you set the course of the ship. What are we doing this year? Are we working on ads? Are we working on shorts? You set the direction.
All right. Software. Let's see. What do the interns think? You have any new ideas? No? Okay. Oh, they do? Oh, no, it's the higher-ups. Okay, so they got that from the interns. Cool. Okay. Shorts? Sure. I'll be back next year.
That everybody who works at that
obviously not
company has to follow. 2, you hire the people who work on the shit, right? You're not the one who's going to be making the product for the shorts, so you got to hire someone who's really good at doing it and stealing what TikTok does. And then 3, you're the public face of the company. So when it inevitably all goes to shit, the blame has to go to someone, and that is usually the CEO. And let's be real, a lot of shit was given to Susan for a lot of the bad products that were given to us by YouTube. Dislikes, NFTs. Now, there are some conspiracy theories as to why Susan's leaving YouTube. Why are you out after 25 years?
Was there that much? Did they have like an NFT scandal? I was unaware.
Mainly from right-wing Twitter. But the way it goes is basically, well, the House of Representatives subpoenaed Susan and some other tech leaders 2 days ago. And then she left yesterday. So maybe it's a reaction to that. I love a good conspiracy theory. I really do.
That is odd. Subpoenaed for what exactly? Did he say that and I was like eating food?
Leaving dislikes NFTs. Now there are some conspiracy theories as to why Susan's leaving YouTube. Why are you out after 25 years? Mainly from right-wing Twitter. But the way it goes is basically, well, the House of Representatives subpoenaed Susan and some other tech leaders 2 days ago. And then she left yesterday.
Interesting.
So maybe it's a reaction to that. I love a good conspiracy theory. I really do. Moon's made of cheese. I'm into all that shit. Aliens have come to Earth. Hell yeah, they're in Cumtown, Alaska.
Based.
But I don't really bite on this one. Because, like, what's the logic?
How fucking insensitive can he be?
She stepped down because...
Mocking Inuit culture. You think it's pronounced Cumtown?
Because she's the fall guy? Like YouTube forced her out? I don't really know. Seems a bit too early days for that. The court case hasn't even started. The subpoena hasn't even gone through. Or maybe 2,
I could tell you guys,
trying to
but
cover her own ass, but she's still subpoenaed. It's not like if you step down, they're like, you know what? We're canceling the subpoena. She doesn't work there anymore. She worked there during that time, so it wouldn't.
yeah, but you would absolutely step down in the face of controversy to ensure that it doesn't have an enduring implication on YouTube's record as those kind of legal processes, evolve.
Wouldn't change anything. So I don't really get it. But there is a much better video about the entire court case by Legal Eagle if you want to check it out. Don't really need to get into it in this video because it's honestly a bit of a side point, but super worth watching because it is very interesting and will impact the internet. This title's not that much of a clickbait. What's my theory for why Susan steps down? Well, you might be able to read that tab right there. She's 54 years old, she has kids, and she's fucking rich, dude. She's got $1 billion.
Whoa. We scaled up by a full quarter of her. I mean, that's $250 million. That's.
She's worked 25 years. She's done her time.
But
I think she just wants to chill.
Glad that they can afford to retire.
Thank you so much.
Yo, what up, Robert? Name for the 7 months, big guy.
Yo.
She wants to hang out with her family. When you die, does 28 years at Google really add up much more than 25 years? Or does hanging out with your kids more and then sipping on Mai Tais at a beach add more fulfillment? I would go with the latter personally. That's my theory.
No, man.
But
She was suppressing the truth about the vaccines. Government subpoenaed
we'll
her.
find out in due time. Now,
They already
we
got
are
the subpoenas
here
out.
to answer the question, is the new CEO going to drive this place into the ground? Because that's what a
Yes.
lot of people would have you believe. And if you don't know who the new CEO is, it's Neil Mohan. And if you don't know, Neil is a 7-year
Okay.
chief product officer at YouTube and like 15-year-long employee at Google and YouTube.
Yep.
Right? So he's been around for a while.
Why is
actually,
now his time?
Spoken to Neil before.
He drank the
and,
blood of the
and
child.
seemed like he knew what live streaming was a little bit, you know. He helped me make that one product for the chess boxing event where we used different audios like Spanish and French during the broadcast, and you could switch it from the live stream. So that was tight.
That is cool.
But a lot of people are giving Neil criticism for good reason, because he made a blog post in February of 2022 that said Web3 opens up new opportunities for creators. We believe new technologies like blockchain and NFTs can allow creators to build deeper relationships with their fans. Which, saying NFT in a space mainly with gamers and content creators is kind of like
Jesus
saying, I love to
Christ.
see Kanye at a
Yo. What up, Mari? Welcome in, Mari. How we doing, dude? Welcome. Big snot raids in chat, guys. We're learning why YouTube is imploding today. Mons, can we get a shout out for Mari? I hope you're doing well. And that you had a great stream. Welcome in, team.
the synagogue. Not really the right crowd, not really the right place, and definitely not the right time. Now, he was maybe doing all the NFT things because he was a huge crypto bro. My theory?
Tough.
Well, one, you're in Silicon Valley, right? You're in the whole tech bubble. You're wearing your Patagonia. You're sipping on Blue Bottle coffee, and you're thinking NFTs are the future. That's maybe a little too insular as opposed to the rest of us who are like, oh, every time this is being done, it's a scam. But also, here's my
who is WakeWilder Quorath? Yeah, send it to me.
theory for why YouTube did NFTs. In 2021, a lot of YouTube videos were being sold as NFTs successfully because creators who make one viral video but don't have a long-term...
I think that NFT's biggest blunder was like trying to market itself adjacent to cryptocurrency on the basis of, the blockchain buzzword. I mean, it's secured by it, I guess, in some regard. All right, let's see. Who is WakeWilder? What? Is there actually an answer here? They're just all related. There aren't even answers. Answers, okay. Twitch streamer WakeWilder participated in the fan-favorite streamer workout camp, Camp Canute, that is being hosted by the Norwegian bodybuilder Canute. Long name. Oh, I think they just ripped this from,
an article that was written about us. WakeWilder was one of the trainers, and during a recently he shed some light. Dude, they just ripped that off of like there was like a Dexerto one. Guy on social media has some strong opinions. He's famous for being famous. I don't think I'm famous. What? Who's piss up a rope? Who's that? Okay, email says, Dave Fletcher requested your answer. Who's WakeWilder? The half-legitimate daughter of Gene and Martel. Well put. Yeah, that's it. And then last one was dedicated professional Danish fart taste tester. These are somehow all correct. Well done. Wait, there's one more? No, there's not. Well, this is just a copy and paste. Yeah. Danish fart taste tester is probably the most apt descriptor, if there was to be one. So I appreciate them shedding some light on the reality of things. You know what I mean? Thank God someone's willing to do it. Jesus Christ. All right, let's delve into this bad boy here.
Content creator career don't really earn a lot off of that success, off that 100 million, 500 million view video. But if you could own and sell it, well, then maybe that helps you in your life.
Sure.
AKA, I'm talking about how
having money helps. Ludwig's onto something.
All these videos were being sold as NFTs. And so maybe YouTube just wanted to own that. I think if you look at most of the products YouTube has made over the past 5-10 years, they're usually either stealing from another company, like stories or shorts or live streams, or it's like defensive products because somebody else, a third party, is making money off of YouTube. And YouTube is like, well, wait, hey, if you're doing that, why don't we just own it and make money and have it be embedded? It's like, I feel like generally the main core strategy to stay the top dog. So that's my theory why NFTs were added. I'm hoping that he doesn't keep going down the NFT train, but maybe he will. The facts are, it's early days.
Ideally not.
Bro.
I think that shit's
we
fucking...
are talking about day dot in the tenure, in the
I mean, it may be an inevitable are bad because essentially everything bad about commodification of art, it's all just assets of nothing. I mean, kind of. The reason why I'm not like actually all that up in arms about the concept of NFTs is that like it depends to what extent you value the capacity of having an original copy, because it's not like necessarily selling the rights to replication or anything, is it? Like, or does the video get fundamentally removed? Are we meant to commodify something such that individuals can't experience it? Or is it moreover that like you get to own some token, right? Indicating that you have the original copy, which like is only as valuable as an individual decides it is, you know? It's not like actually removing something from like, you know, the internet, which would be totally different, right?
Of YouTube.
Okay.
He was chief product officer for 7 years. And look, I get it. He does deserve criticism for this shit idea. And if he keeps going down it, that would suck. But you aren't only your worst idea. I think he also did some other things that people would recognize and be like, oh, okay, that's not so bad. And I think he wanted to let people know that because a few months after that blog post, which got a lot of shit, he posted another blog post that was like, here's 7 things I did that were actually kind of good, guys. Come on. And
well, I mean, almost all NFTs were just built as ways to like either like launder wealth or create this like, you know, a lot of people were just like inflating the value of like, you know, one of those like Bored Apes or something, right? By like purchasing their own NFT with their own cryptocurrency to help like, you know, legitimize the intake of that of like the actual value of the currency into their bank account, right? And doing it at like fucking ridiculous prices, so it would set its perceived value at like millions of dollars for no fucking reason.
And this is Neil looking cool, crossing his arms. Fan funding, okay, this is adding super chats and memberships, biting Twitch's shit, but I respect it. Next thing, shorts, okay, that's been a huge innovation, kind of biting TikTok's shit, but I respect it. Third is Premiere, Fourth is YouTube TV, probably the single best innovation that YouTube's had. All right, maybe a hot take, but YouTube TV being
Sounds
so
like he's about to
popular,
do some
so
stuff on
prevalent,
YouTube
has
TV.
blown up creators even more than they already were blown up, like Mr. Beast, and also created a lot of.
That's
new
crazy because I know
categories
fucking
and made them
nothing
way more
about this.
popular because it's more fun to watch like a walkthrough of traveling videos on YouTube TV than it is on your phone or desktop.
Sure.
A lot of 4K creators popped off because of this too. Anyway, that's all to say that I am not as nervous as other people. The answer to the question, is YouTube going to go to shit now, is a pretty easy one. You have to ask yourself, do you think YouTube was on the right course over the past 5 to 10 years? And if the answer is no, well then this is going to be more of the same. It's going to be more no. If you think everything that they've done is shit over the past 5, 10 years, and YouTube was better off 10 years ago without Susan, without Neil, well then they're going to keep doing that. I think Neil is more of the same. He worked very closely with Susan. Was right
I mean, it's
under.
also like they have very little, like, dude, Ludwig is getting the best head here. My God. They also have there are still like checks and balances within companies, other like chief strategists that are gonna have, you know, like it's not as if this individual, if the entire cabinet doesn't shift, the likelihood of the entire direction of the website shifting is pretty slim.
For Susan. If you think they're doing good over the past 5, 10 years, well, I think they're gonna keep doing good. So it's not up to me to answer the question, is it going to go to shit? It's up to you to answer whether you think they were on the right track, because I think they're going to stay on the same track. I don't think there's going to be a huge change to what was happening. But
hey, what up, Lost Man? I'm doing well, man.
So
it's good to see you.
If you could ask a question to Neil, CEO of YouTube, what would you ask? Because, weirdly enough, I had the chance to interview the CEO of YouTube once, and I somehow got it again. Because I just tweeted out at Neil, I said, hey, want to chat sometime? And I'm not even shitting you. It was the first thing he tweeted after being announced as CEO. He said, let's do it.
Yeah, of
so
course
I'll
it
talk
is.
to Neil. I got to ask.
Is Neil even the one tweeting, you know? All right, I'm over it. Thank you, Ludwig. What else did... All right, yeah. What happened to Chipotle?
What happened
Let's see.
To Chipotle.
15 Chipotle has been on a roller coaster. Business plummeted following a series of foodborne illness outbreaks. But
The workers think they have figured out what made nearly 647 people sick at an Ohio Chipotle. Food temperature.
Since 2008,
Jesus
Chipotle has had 10 scandals regarding food poisoning, which has affected thousands of people.
I remember there being an E.
spreading diseases like
coli
hepatitis
issue.
A, norovirus, E. coli, salmonella, and Clostridium perfringens. And those are just the outbreaks that made it to the news. Many of you probably know people who are food poisoned.
Dude, what the fuck is in this fucking cum-filled sandwich? What the fuck am I... Why is it so fucking creamy?
And after eating at Chipotle.
That is...
Or maybe it even happened to you. Yet, despite all these red flags,
that's not
Chipotle
a bagel.
Is doing...
That was not a bagel. There was no hole.
Better than ever. In the last 12-month period, Chipotle...
That might have been like chicken salad?
Bought an $8.4 billion in revenue and ended up profiting at $800 million. Similarly, they've expanded to over 3,000 locations across the U.S. And it's not just their fundamentals that have been doing well either. Chipotle stock has also held up extraordinarily well throughout the recession, being down only a mere 20%.
I think that COVID was catalytic for Chipotle's value as they create food that's like, you know, reasonably untainted, you know? Like Chipotle as an actual like fast food destination available for, you know, throughout COVID was like one of the few like fresh whole food ingredient options you had access to at the time. You know, like you can just get rice and chicken with some vegetables. Very rare for the majority of destinations that are going to be open during a time like the, you know, we experienced with like massive layoffs and, you know, just general, you know, total closure.
50%.
It is significant.
This pegs Chipotle's valuation at $41 billion, which nearly makes them a top 10 food brand in terms of market cap. For perspective, that's over 3 times larger than Domino's Pizza. Given their popularity, you would think that addressing their food poisoning concerns would be their top priority, and according to their PR, it is. But when we look at the facts, they don't look nearly as favorable for Chipotle. In fact, it actually looks like they're regressing, given that their outbreaks tend to affect more people today. For example, their first outbreak in 2008 affected 22 customers. Conversely, an outbreak in 2018 ended up affecting
hepatitis is bizarre.
700 people. At first glance, you might think that this is somewhat expected for a chain as large as Chipotle. When you're serving that much food, you're bound to serve
But also
some
like a very fresh food.
that gets people sick. But this is actually not true. McDonald's, for example, has over
This, you know, is so annoying. Stop using it. You know, I think that
10 times the number of locations all over the world. Yet, their Wikipedia page only mentions the word outbreak once, and even that was in the context of describing the coronavirus outbreak. Conversely, Chipotle's Wikipedia page mentions the word outbreak a whopping 91 times. What?
Well, of course. It's in the event that it's something that's ever been discussed, you know, especially regarding, it seems as if when you start referencing, let's say, 3 different outbreaks, you're going to use the term outbreak multiple times within the actual report. It isn't meant that's a really poor metric for how prevalent an outbreak is. You want to look at the number of times there has been an outbreak, not how many times the word outbreak has been mentioned.
Mentions the word outbreak a whopping 91 times. What makes this even more confusing is that Chipotle uses much of the same food supply chain as McDonald's. So what in the world is going on at Chipotle? And why do so many people choose to eat
They're grilling
there
fresh in
anyway?
real time.
To understand what's going wrong at Chipotle, we first have to take a look at their origin, because there was a point in time when Chipotle wasn't synonymous with food poisoning. Granted, it's been quite some time. The story of Chipotle dates back to 1993 to a man named Steve Ells. Steve was a classically trained chef who had a few years of experience working in the traditional restaurant industry as a sous chef. While this gig gave Steve some experience, he knew from day one that he wanted to open a fine dining restaurant. Jumping to that from just being a sous chef was quite a leap though. So at age 28, Steve borrowed $85,000 from his friends and family and opened a small burrito shop instead in Denver, Colorado. Initially, he estimated that he needed to sell at least 107 burritos per day to be profitable, but he ended up crushing this number. By the end of the first month itself, Steve was selling over 1,000 burritos per day. This strong reception
Been by it.
gave Steve the confidence to take out an SBA
I
loan
live just
and open additional
south of
restaurants
Denver
in
for a
Colorado.
while.
We can't give Steve all the credit though, as he had substantial help from his father. You see, Steve's father was a wealthy pharmaceutical executive.
Again, the number one rule, guys. Ensure you're born into a wealthy family. The sky is the limit when you can casually take out $85,000 loans with no real consequences should it not work.
And while he was hesitant to invest at ground zero, once he saw these results, he became a massive investor, putting in $1.5 million. Despite having access to all this capital, Steve was in no rush to open up a bunch of restaurants or expand outside of the state for 2 reasons.
Is that myth? That's why this is the most replayed. Is that myth? This is the most replayed part, so clearly a bunch of people were like, is this fucking myth? It is the most replayed part of the video. Did he do something with Chipotle?
Open up a bunch of restaurants or expand outside of the state for 2 reasons. For one, Steve strongly believed in keeping the business simple and straightforward.
Okay, that makes
This is
sense.
very much a core principle of Chipotle to this day. I mean, this is basically their entire
what was
2
it?
reasons. Capital. Steve was in no rush to open up a bunch of restaurants or expand outside of the state for 2 reasons. For one, Steve strongly believed in keeping the business simple and straightforward. And this is very much a core principle of Chipotle to this day. I mean, this is basically their entire menu. And 2, turning Chipotle into a nationwide giant wasn't never Steve's vision. His goal was to simply get some experience running Chipotle before switching over to fine dining. But by 1998, it was becoming extremely difficult to stick to this original vision, simply due to how well Chipotle was doing. Instead of resisting it, Steve would simply embrace the change and go all in on Chipotle, opening their first restaurant outside of Colorado in 1998. Now that Chipotle was no longer just a local sensation, bigger investors would become interested, particularly McDonald's. McDonald's started off with a small stake, but they would end up making Chipotle into who they are today. Over the next 7 years, McDonald's helped Chipotle grow from 16 locations to over 500 locations by investing a whopping $360 million, which gave them a 90% stake in the company. But money wasn't even the biggest asset that McDonald's brought to the table. Their primary contribution was, of course, their experience. While McDonald's gets a bad rep for selling highly processed junk food, one thing you can't argue with is that they're exceptional at selling said food. They've honed in everything from marketing and franchising to the supply chain and food safety. And this...
You know what? Also, McDonald's fucking tastes good. No, like McDonald's tastes good, but it's not good. It's a hard it's easy to make things taste good when it's like, you know, loaded with sodium and fats, you know?
Expertise was very much evident in Chipotle's flawless growth from 16 stores to 500 stores. But unfortunately for Chipotle, McDonald's would not stick around forever.
So what are they ever gonna talk about what the fuck happened? Or if there's anything, it seems like they're at their absolute apex. Why is this a doomsday video?
While McDonald's was crushing it with Chipotle, the same could not be said about their own business. During the dot-com crash, McDonald's stock would sell off 75%, and it would take them 8 years to return to their former highs. While much of this was simply due to the state of the economy, McDonald's executives decided that they had to stop spending so much effort on relatively small investments. Their ingredients come from mass distributors like Keystone Foods. Every year, Keystone Foods alone delivers 150 million pounds of beef, 300 million pounds of chicken, and 15 million pounds of fish to McDonald's. While this being an opportunistic businessman, Steve decided to jump onto this trend of producing quote-unquote organic, locally sourced food. Looking back, this was a perfect choice in terms of their marketing and the branding, and it's also the ethical choice. This turned out to be a nightmare in terms of quality control.
Sure, that
Today,
makes sense.
Chipotle tries to source as many ingredients as possible from within a 350 mile.
Yeah, I mean, you can't guarantee quality in the same capacity if you have that many independent, you know, sources of produce. It's harder to ensure, and it's also harder to like cut out the potential issue if you have like multiple individuals sourcing lettuce to identify which, you know, distributor sent you that lettuce is going to be a totally fucking Herculean feat.
Radius. While this locally grown produce idea sounds great on paper, there is a reason that mega food corporations shy away from this idea. It's because it's...
This guy, Frog, same thing over and over again.
virtually impossible to maintain standards across thousands of suppliers, and Chipotle would figure this out the hard way. But this quickly led them to yet another issue.
How many views does this video have? 95,000? Okay, well, I'm bored of this.
What happened?
Alright, what else did Asmund react to? The internet's gonna destroy... okay, this thing here. Let's do this.
Internet
I was right. Oh, it is Myth, yeah. I mean, it just looks like Myth. It's hard to not know. Oh my god, he's a little baby.
Alrighty. And so how many of these are made a day?
We do anywhere between...
Look at that little guy. Alright, let's see the Supreme Court killing the internet.
As we know,
let's look.
The internet flourishes on user-generated content. It's the backbone of the internet. And if you write or say something that is illegal, you can be held liable for what you said. But usually the websites that host your content are not liable. And when you hear about Section 230, this is usually what we're talking about. But if websites were also liable for what users say, then websites would either shut down almost everything or police things so tightly that there would be basically nothing even remotely objectionable. Because if there's one thing that websites hate, it's being on the hook for billions and billions of dollars of potential liability and attorney's fees. And this isn't just some potential hypothetical. In the past, when laws made websites liable for...
No, this is already moronic, dude. In the event that someone didn't like a company, a website, or an individual who was hosting some kind of online event, they could just go and like spread hate speech and make the host accountable for the actions of the user. Moderating is already something that occurs, and as long as you're moderating, I think, to the best possible extent, I don't understand how this is something that's punishable by law. That would be bizarre.
User content. They just shut down the content and never came back. And one case before the Supreme Court this term seeks to do exactly that, but for all of the internet. No joke, this has the potential to end the internet as we know it today.
Okay.
So how did we get here?
How did I get here?
Well, it started with a tragedy. Noemi Gonzalez was a design major at California State University, Long Beach, who was spending a semester studying in Paris. On the evening of November 15th, 2015, she was dining with friends at a cafe on the Champs-Élysées when an ISIS terrorist with a gun opened fire. Gonzalez was killed along with 130 other people in coordinated attacks at 6 locations across the city. ISIS claimed responsibility for the attacks, and eventually 20 men were convicted of crimes related to the massacre. The lone surviving gunman was sentenced to life without parole. So, was justice served? Well, the Gonzalez family contends that it was not because there was another perpetrator still at large: YouTube. The family sued Google, which owns YouTube, alleging that YouTube's algorithms amplify violent videos and hateful content despite...
Media was widely reported on terrorist use of YouTube and YouTube's refusal to take any meaningful action to stop it. 7/2014, militants posting beheading videos on the sites like YouTube, giving an image the chance to go viral before being shut down. I mean, considering just how... I would say... concerning the reality of the engagement-based algorithm is, there actually is some interesting discourse to be had on why things are pushed, in that the things that are most shocking, or moreover, the things that are most contentious, tend to get the most attention. So the more divisive something is, the more nonsensical a take is to the point of it being outlandish, the more likely it is to reach both those who hate it and those who love it. And that's an error. I mean, not an error. I mean, it's the design, but it is also a really eminent concern, in my opinion. It's what allows individuals like Andrew Tate to have such an immediate platform, is that he almost gets springboarded by the contempt he engenders more than the actual. So, like, he becomes visible to individuals who are none the wiser, you know, more impressionable youth, because he will say moronic shit that will garner the attention of those who, you know, obviously believe it to be moronic.
The company's efforts to ban violent accounts and limit their reach. The Gonzalez family says that YouTube's recommendations expose people to hateful content, radicalize viewers, and encourage them to make terrorist attacks of their own. Google argued that because ISIS, not YouTube, made and uploaded those videos, YouTube was not the provider or developer of those videos, and therefore it was immune from liability under 47 U.S.C. Section 230, otherwise known as Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. Section 230 of the CDA immunizes internet services for the content that its users upload, and often allows websites to remove content without taking on liability. But the Gonzalez plaintiffs contend that YouTube's recommendations should not be covered by Section 230 because the company is acting like a content creator rather than a publisher. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals held that the Gonzalez claims fell within Section 230 and Google was immune from suit. The Gonzalez parties appealed, and the Supreme Court granted cert to answer the question of whether Section 230 immunizes an interactive computer service from liability for recommending other party content. Now, in support of their claims, plaintiffs allege that, quote, 2 of the 12 ISIS terrorists who carried out the attacks used online social media platforms to post links to ISIS recruitment YouTube videos and, quote, jihadi YouTube videos. One of the men who fired at Gonzalez had appeared in an ISIS recruiting video in 2014. Now, the plaintiffs argue that the defendants violated the Anti-Terrorism Act, the ATA, by allowing ISIS to post videos on YouTube. Under Section 2333 of the ATA, as amended by the Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorism Act, Americans who are injured by, quote, an act of international terrorism that is committed, planned, or authorized by a terrorist organization may sue any person who, quote, aids and abets by knowingly providing substantial assistance or who conspires with a person who committed such an act of...
Civil remedy for any national of the U.S. injured in his or her person, property, or business by reason of an act of international terrorism, aids and abets. Okay.
International terrorism, and recover treble damages. So the legal question in the lower courts was whether a social media platform that was not used to commit a specific, quote, act of international terrorism may still be liable for aiding and abetting under Section 2333. The plaintiffs say that the answer is yes, that Google aided and abetted an act of international terrorism, conspired with the perpetrator of an act of international terrorism, and provided material support to ISIS by allowing ISIS to use YouTube. And of course, the defendants say no, the plaintiffs' claims are barred by Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which often immunizes interactive computer services, aka websites, even when they make targeted recommendations. The trial court and the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals sided with Google, ruling that the claims fell within Section 230, Section C, because ISIS, not YouTube, created or developed the relevant content. The court said that YouTube, quote, selects the particular content provided to a user based on that user's inputs. The display of recommended content results from algorithms that are merely, quote, tools meant to facilitate the communication.
Yeah, but the tools operate in a specific capacity. I feel as if trying to, like, hold YouTube accountable via, like, imprecise legislation that's... to not address the issue being what it is the algorithms prioritize and how it is it's exploited, or let's say like giving priority to that which is, let's say, most problematic rather than, let's say, like most catalytic is kind of a concern. Now, how you determine that obviously is its own calculus that you can't like really prescribe right now, but I just feel as if this is like not actively considering what the operative issue is, which is like how we've allowed a few kind of like tech oligarchs to essentially condition our value system, you know, and determine what's most successful, you know, or what's most desired, you know. It's odd.
And content of others, and not content in and of themselves. As the lower courts noted, the recommendations are based on the user's preferences, not YouTube's. The plaintiffs argue that Section 230C does not apply to, quote, activities that promote or recommend content. So let's dig deeper into what all of this means. Sure. First of all, the plaintiffs are not simply arguing that platforms are liable because terrorists have used their services. They argue that the powerful algorithms that recommend content are not covered by the CDA because the recommendations are content in and of themselves. And as the Ninth Circuit said, the complaint alleges Google uses computer algorithms to match and suggest content to users based upon their viewing history. The Gonzalez plaintiffs allege that in this way, Google has recommended ISIS videos to users and enabled users to locate other videos and accounts related to ISIS, and that by doing so, Google assists ISIS in spreading its message. So the plaintiffs claim that YouTube facilitates communications between ISIS and people who watch their videos, thereby aiding ISIS in recruiting new members. The plaintiffs acknowledge that YouTube...
What ad they pair with the ISIS beheading video?
Removed ISIS videos and suspended or blocked ISIS users.
Head and Shoulders.
At various times. However, the plaintiffs claim that YouTube should have been able to stop ISIS from re-establishing accounts using new identities. And the plaintiffs allege that Google left some of the ISIS videos up because they did not contain content violating the site's policies. At other times, Google removed the offending content, but did not suspend or ban the accounts. Now, we've talked about Section 230 of the CDA many times on this channel. Section 230 was created back in 1996 at the dawn of the internet. It has two key provisions. Section 230C1 says, quote, no provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by another information content provider. This sentence is often called the 26 words that created the internet. This section stipulates that providing access to third-party content does not make an online provider the publisher or speaker.
Yeah, but I actually do see the concern in how algorithms will prioritize incendiary to outright problematic content, you know, and how it is they might then like, it's like kind of feels like allowing an 11-year-old to drive a car almost, you know. It's like, there has to be some protections put in place as to like what videos are recommended to what demographic, you know, like allowing individuals to choose for themselves when they're like least educated and most impressionable is like, it's a weird middle ground. Like there's a gray area here.
Like, do you want to essentially allow individuals to, like, run amok and do whatever the fuck they want to do with it? Or is there, like, definitely something inherently problematic about that suggestion that should be addressed and mitigated? You know? Children have parents, but, like, you know, they also... Like, engagement-based algorithms are problematic to me in what it is they, you know, essentially encourage, you know? It encourages incendiary rhetoric, things that aren't necessarily productive or insightful, but instead upsetting.
Of that content. Now, the second major part of the law is Section 230C2, the so-called Good Samaritan provision, which states, quote, no provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be held liable on account of any action voluntarily taken in good faith to restrict access to or availability of material that the provider or user considers to be obscene, lewd, lascivious, filthy, excessively violent, harassing, or otherwise objectionable, whether or not such material is constitutionally protected. So this provision gives online platforms broad immunity from liability if they moderate content in good faith. This provision was meant to allow websites to police itself without incurring new liability, because it was an issue of knowledge. A website might not know what speech was hosted on that particular website, in which case they wouldn't be liable for it. But if they knew that illegal speech or defamatory speech or some other kind of speech was hosted there and then took steps to remove it from the website itself, then they actively had knowledge of that particular speech and thus might become liable for hosting it in the future. So websites found themselves on the horns of a dilemma until Section 230 of the CDA was passed to allow them to engage in good faith moderation. Because there was generally a knowledge requirement to be liable for things that were hosted on your website. If you had no knowledge of what kind of speech was on your website or platform, then you generally weren't liable for it. But the argument went that if you started to moderate
but isn't
your
that just
website,
negligible?
then that was evidence that you knew what was on there, and therefore you became liable for all the stuff that you were trying to remove from your website. And this applied to spam, to pornography, to pirated media, to defamation, you name it. So the CDA was enacted in 1996 when the internet was still in its infancy. At the time, companies like America Online, CompuServe, and Prodigy were the portals that allowed people to access the internet. People could share files, exchange messages, and chat with each other in real time. But that posed a dilemma. Who would be liable if a user posted something defamatory or shared something else that was illegal? Would liability go beyond the person that was responsible for the post? Or would the internet companies who hosted the content also be on the hook? And that brings us to the distinction between content publishers, distributors, and platforms, which is often completely misunderstood. In the pre-internet age, publishers, distributors, and platforms were treated differently under the law. Publishers were newspapers, magazines, and broadcast stations. They were generally liable for republishing material from third parties since they solicited the things that they published and they could vet those materials. Distributors were businesses like bookstores, newsstands, and libraries, which distributed material that was printed by others. And distributors were not required to assess every book that they sold. For example, in the 1950s, the Supreme Court overturned a Los Angeles ordinance that said, if you have obscene material in your bookstore, you can be held criminally responsible. And in that case, a bookstore owner was convicted of violating the ordinance by selling a novel called Sweeter Than Life, which tells the story of a, quote, ruthless lesbian businesswoman. The Supreme Court said that the bookstore couldn't be responsible for reviewing every single thing in the book or magazine that it sells. And distributors...
Yeah. Is like... People are odd, man. Like, how much of the book is her having, like, explicit sex with other women, you know?
Distributors only had liability if someone notified them that something they carried was illegal. That's sort of the origin of the knowledge requirement. And platforms were common carriers like phone companies and television broadcasters. Platforms weren't liable for third-party content that they carried. So, for example, let's say AT&T found out that someone's answering machine had a libelous outgoing message. Was AT&T required to act by canceling the owner's telephone service? Well, the court said no. AT&T couldn't be sued for libel simply because the owner used its service to say something libelous. And similarly, a broadcaster wasn't liable for running a political candidate that falsely accused someone of being a communist. But then...
God forbid. Is that a crime to accuse someone of being a communist? Why is that so... Like, how are people who are clearly so educated using terms that are, like, so antiquated and, like, thoughtless?
Then the internet came around, and the internet era posed a new challenge for this case law. Two of the first internet service providers, CompuServe and Prodigy, were sued for hosting forums where users posted defamatory content. Now, Prodigy billed itself as a family-friendly version of the internet.
Did you get a computer recently? Well, congratulations. You can now join hundreds of thousands who've discovered Prodigy.
It moderated comments.
It would be live, sure. I could see it. Metzger propaganda, yeah, it's just bizarre that that's like ever criminal in some capacity.
Removing things it thought were bad. Now, CompuServe didn't moderate anything.
CompuServe combines the power of your computer with the convenience of your telephone.
And both of those companies were sued for defamatory statements that their users posted to the service. Now, the case against CompuServe was dismissed because the court considered it a distributor of content rather than a publisher. Sure. CompuServe could only be held liable for defamation if it knew or had reason to know of the defamatory nature of the content. And since they didn't do anything to moderate their forums, the company couldn't possibly know, or at least argued it couldn't possibly know, about what the denizens of Rumorville were posting about each other. But Prodigy was found liable for failing to moderate enough. Someone went on a forum and claimed that Jordan Belfort's investment firm, Stratton Oakmont,
I'm gonna skip ahead.
Now, plaintiffs didn't claim this in their original complaint. Instead, they focused on how YouTube's recommendations amplified the ISIS speech, making it more visible to more users. But the US government urged the Supreme Court to adopt a narrow reading of Section 230 that would permit a finding that Google materially contributed to the content by matching it to user preferences. Again, basically, the Department of Justice, as well as the plaintiffs, are arguing for a standard that if any website promotes content, uses an algorithm, or recommends content to users, that website then becomes liable for all of the speech contained within that recommendation. What happens when websites are liable? Well, remember I mentioned that this has actually happened before? Well, it has. In 2018, then President Trump signed into law 2 bills making it easier to fight sex trafficking online. That was the Fight Online Sex Trafficking Act and the Stop Enabling Sex Traffickers Act, otherwise known as FOSTA and SESTA. And those 2 laws created an exception to Section 230's safe harbor rule by stating that websites could be held legally responsible if third parties posted ads for prostitution on their platforms. The law penalizes websites which, quote, promote or facilitate prostitution. And while this includes sites that promote illegal sex work, it also allows the police to investigate any site that is knowingly assisting, facilitating, or supporting sex trafficking. This language can be read to include sites with content that is legal, such as escort services, personal ads, and pornography. Now, critics of FOSTA and SESTA warned that the new laws were too broad and they would end up killing internet content that has nothing to do with sex trafficking. And they turned out to be correct. If a third party posts content that is covered by FOSTA or SESTA, and the website fails to prevent that content from being posted, that website can be sued. And that was simply too much legal risk for several websites.
You should have gone for the head.
Craigslist shut down its entire personal section. Tumblr banned all adult content, and Reddit removed several subreddits, and other websites just simply shut down entirely. So you might ask, did any of this assist with the prosecution of sex trafficking? Well, in 2021, the US Government Accountability Office released a report on the first 3 years of FOSTA and SESTA, finding that, quote, over 3 years, the Department of Justice filed just 1 case under its rules against promoting or recklessly disregarding sex trafficking. So ironically, this provided essentially the perfect natural experiment to find out what happens when websites are liable for the speech content of its users. One of 2 things will happen. Either the website shuts down that section or shuts down the entire department, or the website employs an army of moderators to remove anything even remotely offensive. You basically either live in a world where a website allows everything, scams, spam, pornography, ultra-violence, just everything that you can possibly imagine and you probably don't want to see in your everyday life. Or you live in a world where they employ extremely expensive moderators who prevent anything that might possibly be offensive. And that, of course, assumes that a website can even afford to employ those moderators.
Again, I think that the issue beyond moderation is how it is algorithms are promoting content and what it is they're identifying as being value indicators and how that can be kind of like imprecise. Like it's what's most profitable, but maybe not what's most productive, you know?
So there are those who want to see Section 230 modified or scrapped altogether.
And there's a ton of ways to, I feel like I don't really encounter a lot of like hate speech or blatantly violent shit on the internet
in my browsing of it. So there's clearly some success of moderation at that level. Retrain algorithms from like the ground up. Yeah, I mean, I believe that that's actually a pretty significant and necessary task at this juncture.
Have argued that these online services are acting like content developers. Now, oral argument in front of the Supreme Court is next week, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is on this one. I filed a brief in the Supreme Court along with Dr. Mike, Mythical Entertainment, Chubby Emu, Tim Schmoyer, and the Authors Alliance, and a bunch of other creators. We filed an amicus brief explaining the potential dire consequences of a really bad ruling on this, so we'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, I'll probably just be stress eating at the end of the internet, unless I use today's sponsor, Factor 75, because Factor makes meeting your nutrition goal.
Oh, they put it at the very end of the video. Okay, well that makes sense. Yeah, tough one, man. I don't know. I do not know. But guys, I do think. What do I think right now? Yo, what up, Miss Graveheart? Welcome in, dude. I do think that might actually be the stream today. That's what I'm thinking. I'm kind of tired. I think I'm gonna try to get some sleep today. Maybe give myself a fighting chance if possible. So we might end on a little bit of a short stream, just to our reacting. Maybe no gaming tonight, and we're gonna raid Grayson. Noon streams, God, I wouldn't get our hopes up, but I definitely need to get some sleep tonight, so, you know, we'll see. But anyways, guys, I love you all. Have fun. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for the hang. And I will see you all tomorrow.